have another listing up that's the exact same thing that 60 people have applied to. So like, are they actually hiring people? Are they just checking the workforce? Like,
it's all just a fucking racket.
All right. Grossly on time this week. We're going to start right when it is 3:15.
finally!
Thank you. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast.
Yeah, hang on, hold on. Wait a minute. I wasn't ready yet.
3, 9.
See? None of us were ready yet.
Numbers are hard.
Episode 940.
940.
The Wattrel Podcast.
Oh, I could go for a good watch roll right now. No, wait. Spring roll. Swiss
It just
roll.
eats up time. Get it?
Wetzel,
I was waiting for someone to rim shot, but
you got to do
my
it.
job.
MomBrain, tell us about Wattrel, please.
I would say it's my pleasure, but I make it a point not to lie.
Oh, wow.
I'm just kidding.
It's going to be one of those shows.
Yeah.
940, the episode, it all falls apart.
Yeah.
Listen, it's one of those days where just like nothing feels right on my insides or my outsides. So
That's called puberty.
well,
Are you finding hair where there was no hair?
I think it's reverse puberty.
Is it?
Ah.
Oh, is that what it is?
We call that death.
For me, it's
Yeah.
just like an existential dread. Right now.
There's that too.
Yeah, everything just feels wrong. But by the end of this podcast, it won't.
I'll be dead.
God willing.
Watch roll.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna call it Wattrel, actually, because it's Wattrel. When its wings catch the wind, the bones within produce electricity. This Pokemon dives into the ocean, catching prey
Wind.
by electrocuting them. They're a foot tall. They're just about 8 pounds, male or female, and the category is Storm Petrel.
It's coming down out there.
Good, because I put some plants out. Abilities include Volt Absorb. If hit by an electric type move, the Pokemon has its HP restored instead of taking damage, and Wind Power.
Electric.
Where the Pokemon becomes charged when it is hit by a wind move, boosting the power of the next electric type move the Pokemon uses. And this is end of Pokemon section.
Thank you, MomBrain. It's very much appreciated.
I'm so glad.
MomBrain is here.
She is.
How are you doing? Well, we know how you're doing, I guess.
Melancholy.
Melatonin. Why so melancholy, MomBrain? Something happened? Oh, look in the chat. There's Paddington. So what more could you need?
Just my body feels weird.
My body is ready.
Everything's fine.
Nicky Hill is here.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I guess I'm whelmed.
Okay.
Feeling whelmed.
Dew is not here. He is helping out a friend today.
Dew
He's
Michaels.
being a server or a bringer, if you will.
We speak your name.
But Josh Grobot is here, my friend from college days. Josh, how's it going?
I'm the world's best singer.
Yeah. You know, Josh and I performed that on stage many years ago.
Your
Why
college
would you say that?
college talent show.
It's nothing to be ashamed of. We were the opening act, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. See, Josh, it was a good memory, not a bad memory.
That was a really great story.
And George is here. George, how are you doing, my friend?
Well, George, no.
Are you feeling probably not melancholy because it's melon related?
Feeling my lime.
Feeling lime.
Melancholy.
Melancholy.
It doesn't quite roll off the tongue.
Hello, Solomester Link and SD and Tentavision and Giant Reggie and Steister RLM. Did I say Tentavision already? I'm losing my mind. Tentavision if I didn't. Radical Defect, Drake, Axel, Iced Dilbert. Hey, Iced Dilbert, I see you posted the Rugrats thing. I'd love to talk more about that, but I can't. I'll talk a little bit about it very quickly later on. Hello, Gecko Kitsune and Malik Halo. Alternus Liz, Zikamuto, Popple from earlier, E17. I see that Clark Bar Ice Dilbert, very jealous. Thanks to all of you who decide on Saturday. Hello, Roth and J-Bug and No Blaze, No Bows. Man, I disappeared for a second. Hi, Lane Tom. Hello, guys. Thanks. I want to give I don't feel I do this enough. I want to give an extra special thanks to those of you who join us for the actual live show and decide to hop in Discord. The number of people who join live is minuscule compared to the amount of people who listen, at a time that's more convenient for them. So I completely understand it. But if you are here when we are live, hello, Nico Durinia, it's very much appreciated. As I always say in the little blurb on the site, if you are here watching live and you join in the Discord, thank you, because I think the show is always better when you guys are here. So J-Bug says, flipping burgers and watching pod. Who says you can't multitask at work? Are you actually at work, or are you working at home? That'd be great if they're at like McDonald's flipping burgers in the back and watching a podcast. Hey, whatever works for you is fine with me. It's International Baking Day, says Roth. So if there's a time to be flipping
Well,
burgers,
also said
this
it's
is it.
Beard Day, World Beard Day, not just international, the whole world.
Are you saying beer or beard?
Beard.
Oh, that's good. Oh, J-Bug says it's a restaurant called Burgers and Beer. There you go. Hello, Super Sanchez. Good to see you. Yesterday was Pizza Day.
Oh man,
I know.
I think it might have been.
I mean,
just-
it's silly.
Governor Phil
like,
Murphy.
There's
Yeah.
like
Said something.
multiple holidays for every day there of the calendar, but I always like to check those. Like when I go to work, start the day off with wishing everybody a happy whatever.
Salmonella.
Especially because there's times when I want to like really push and be like, hey everybody, happy chocolate milkshake day. It'd be a great idea if somebody picked up some chocolate milkshakes
always a
for the
great
crew.
By the way, Vanilla Frosties are back. Wendy's brought them back.
Oh,
Also, hello, Kurt Dog, and hello, Rascal. Also, Governor Phil Murphy of New Jersey was talking about how it was Pizza Day, and he was making fun of the people in Connecticut for eating their pizza with a fork and a knife. As someone with a giant beard, I appreciate eating it with a fork and knife. I would rather eat it by hand, but Phil, I don't know if that's the route you want to go.
why are you gonna
I
be
don't know if
making
that's the
fun of
road you want to
people?
go down. Huh?
why does he got to spend his time yucking yums?
He's playing up the "We're from Jersey, baby," which is great. I go for it, but you don't need to put somebody else down. Just
Yeah.
say "We're from Jersey,
It's
baby."
it's not a, hey, I'm from Jersey. You over there, you suck. Like
Yeah.
that's not. Well,
So we're from
it is
Jersey.
kind
it
of Jersey,
is,
but
so-
Well, we're from Jersey and you're not. That's fine, but you don't need to be like, look at these jamokes over here
Yeah.
cutting up their pizza with a
So,
fork and a
one
knife.
but I
thing-
kind of feel like that's Jersey.
Yeah,
like-
but you know what's real Jersey? Not saying it without saying it.
telling your family
Yeah.
behind closed doors.
Yeah.
So
You'd be like, hey, the people from Connecticut, they eat their pizza with fork and a knife. Well, we're from Jersey, baby, and you're not. Then you take a bite of the pizza. Everybody gets the message. You don't need to outright say it.
one thing
Whoa.
that I kind of questioned in Connecticut, like when I've gotten pizza there, one of the things they do is like a loaded potato pizza. It's like mashed potatoes and stuff, like
I'm down.
loaded mashed potatoes. Like,
I'm
so
down.
there's like bacon and stuff. It's not the weirdest thing.
Nope.
But whatever. And it's not that bad.
Well, how about
It's
that
all right.
tomato pie I sent from Panko? Like
You know,
that,
I looked at that
and that
and
came up organically.
I kind of just wanted cheese on it. But yes, their sauce, they got good sauce. They made a
Hello,
good sauce
Barnaby.
body.
I mean, we loved their sauce, so yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, we got some things to get to.
No, wait, I had something to tell Mom Brain.
Go right ahead. Sorry.
Thursday, I went to pick up some breakfast from Taco Bell. Sorry, we're not serving breakfast. And I'm like,
I'm sorry, what?
well, that sucks. But hey, lucky me, I live in an area. There's a Taco Bell like a mile and a half away from the other Taco Bell. So I drove to the second Taco Bell and it's actually open. The first one wasn't even open. The screen was blank. I pull up, I start giving my order and they're like, yeah, we don't have breakfast. And I'm like, what? Thinking like, oh, you don't have the crunch wrap, like the California crunch wrap.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
The ultimate supreme breakfast.
and I'm like, oh, sorry, what was that? And they're like, we don't have any breakfast. And I'm like, any? You don't have any breakfast? And then I was like, well, the other one didn't. You don't. Do any Taco Bells have breakfast right now? And they said no,
What?
because I have a third Taco Bell that's not that far away from the other two. And I'm like, wait. They didn't really have a reason, but no Taco Bells have breakfast currently, and I don't know if and when they're reinstating it.
2 weeks ago, today.com. Bye bacon egg burritos. Some Taco Bells will stop serving breakfast. Taco
this a
Bell ends
conspiracy?
breakfast in some locations. Taco Bell is moving away from breakfast at some locations. So
That
there you
is
go.
horrible.
It's true. That's true.
Well, maybe the third time's a charm at the other place, but I guess I got to start.
The restaurant
going
chain
on.
gave franchisees a choice to streamline their menus by opting out of breakfast in order to, quote, have the flexibility to focus on key drivers of growth, end quote.
I mean, yeah, not everybody goes there for breakfast. I can
would
can
imagine
understand
most
that.
people don't. I'm not knocking them, but I
No.
imagine most people go for lunch.
But you know what? If most people got that taste in their mouth once, they'd be return
Most
customers.
people don't want to start their day out with diarrhea. At lunch, at dinner, they're
Listen,
fine with
Taco
that.
Bell is not the Taco Bell of our younger years.
Mm.
The meat is now
Hi, Freddie Fro.
slightly better.
Hi, Steister, if I didn't say
The flavors are probably just the same.
Taco Bell isn't the Taco Bell of old. It's slightly better.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, I don't have trying to think. No, I don't think Taco Bell gives me diarrhea.
No, me either.
Well,
You know what it does give me?
butterflies.
Boner. Very active salivary glands because
okay.
it's delicious.
J-Bug says nothing more devastating than when you roll up at a McDonald's drive-thru at 10:30 and that menu flips. Yeah, I mean, I've missed their hash browns by like 5 minutes, and it's so frustrating. I don't want to be mean to the employee, and I never am, but I'm like, yeah, it was 5 minutes. You don't have like one sitting there that's ready to go.
I'm sure they do, and they're just going to throw them away.
They're
but
gonna
that's
eat
not
it.
their policy.
They're gonna eat it.
But like, and I understand that was the whole Michael Douglas Falling Down movie, directed by Joel Schumacher, which I do not support that behavior at all. But at the same time, I understand the frustration. A lot of people do. That's why it's very relatable.
Hey, Freddie Fro, thanks for saying that. And Taco Bell, listen up. Freddie Fro says every time Taco Bell is mentioned on the podcast, we always get the craving and go get some. Let's see if it happens again. There you hear that, Taco Bell? You don't, but maybe I'll at
sponsor us.
Maybe I'll at you later.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
You know what?
Yeah, it'd be nothing but farts all the time.
I mean, listen, they put the power in their franchise owners' hands. They didn't just say everybody get rid of breakfast. So I don't know. I think the goal now is to make friends with the owner of a franchise and convince them otherwise.
Freddie Fro says it also works with Pizza Talk.
Or buy our own Taco Bell, and we could podcast from Taco Bell,
which we're planning to get tonight,
That's right.
anyways. So it works out. Well, you're having that's a weekend, my
You're
friend. That's how you do
planning
it.
for Pizza Hut tonight?
Nope.
Or they
nope.
they were planning.
Nope.
Yes,
It says nope. It said it also works with Pizza Talk, which we're planning to get tonight, anyways. No Pizza Hut.
Okay,
Pizza
no,
Talk.
you were still reading. MomBrain mentioned Pizza Hut. I thought you said Pizza Hut.
I can't
you
be
were talking
trusted
about-
to remember anything.
My brain not working.
All right. We have things to get to this episode. We have a
Calm down.
big
We're talking
regular story.
about Taco Bell.
We have a big like Nintendo related story, which we will go to first. We have a big non-Nintendo related story, which I'm going to let MomBrain tackle, hopefully in
while you go to the
the
bathroom.
full story. What are you looking at me weird for? You know exactly what story it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But first things first, before we get to the Nintendo related story, I'm going to do this very quickly. Hello, Red Susan. Good to see you. Hello, TKO. I don't want to keep waiting for this. I've been waiting for it, and I'm very excited. Nicky Hill brought over the brand new Oreo Coca-Cola, and I waited for the podcast.
And we were lucky.
Drink it.
The only ones in the refrigerator were 0 sugar, so we made out like bandits.
You have one, don't you?
I don't want one thing.
Oh, okay.
I think
You don't
she
want a sip?
will.
I might have a sip of yours if it's.
I definitely smell chocolate.
This expires November 25th, 2024,
Wanna
year of our
smell?
Lord.
Again, this is the Oreo Coca-Cola.
I find it unappealing.
Chocolate is there. Here we go.
Wait, before you do this, have you ever eaten Oreos while drinking a soda?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah,
I don't know if I've done that.
I have. Yeah. I'm not proud of it, but I have. Yeah.
Well, cheers.
Bombs up and the devil laughs. Oh, you definitely get a chocolate.
I taste the cream.
A little bit,
If
man.
you guys touch tongues, it'll be like tasting an Oreo.
Hi, Tony De La Mancha. I'm shocked that
We got to let it
they
aerate a
got,
little bit.
like,
let it
they
breathe.
got the Oreo flavor.
I mean, I'm not. These people they're
Wow, MomBrain.
chemists at the top of their game.
I give that an 8 out of 10.
I hate it, but it's better than I thought it would be.
I'm starting to lose it. I don't know if I'm just getting.
You become numb to it. No, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
It's definitely there. Somebody says Dunkin', or not somebody, I can say their name. SC says Dunkin' Oreo in the soda. That's a win. I would drink that regularly.
I think that works like color theory stuff. Like the color red in a red light will disappear, so the Oreo will just like you'll dunk it in and you'll come in.
And we'll get this one out of the way as well. Nicky Hill also brought the brand new M&M's pumpkin pie flavor. MomBrain, it is share size. Oh my goodness gracious! You take 2 of those.
I think the first sip of the Oreo
There you
drink
go.
did it for me. Now it's just a Coca-Cola drink.
All right, pumpkin pie M&M's.
Cheers.
Oh,
I'm not really getting any pumpkin pie.
I got some pumpkin spice at the end.
I got,
there.
yeah.
But it's almost like
Wow.
like
Well,
crumble,
10 Division says y'all are making me so jealous.
like a crunchy sugar crystal pie crumble.
I don't know that I'd call it pie, but I would say you get the pumpkin. It wasn't there at first.
Yeah.
and just chocolate.
I mean, it's not offensive. It's not. It.
Sorry, Slicer. It's gonna all go downhill from here.
If you ate that, you definitely and didn't know, and you thought it was just a regular
You'd get
M&M,
something.
you'd be like, "Oh, this is a little
Yeah.
different." Yeah.
You would definitely know.
It's crazy that the instant you swallow, you get an aftertaste that's like,
Yeah.
With the M&Ms too. Yeah.
autumn.
I thought it was nothing there,
It's
and
like
then
an
I take
instant
it back.
pumpkin-y.
Oh, I've never had that. Kurt Dog says they miss Diet Dr. Pepper cherry chocolate.
I miss Barnaby's sweet face. Is what I miss.
SD, that is something for the Patreon. That's a great Patreon idea. Get all the weird Kit Kat flavors from Japan and try them. That would be great. That Dr. Pepper creamy coconut. Oh my God, I love it. You can probably still get it now, but it's got to be going away. I highly recommend you try that. Man, was that good. You're right, Freddie Fro. We should do an H-Mart trip and get some weird Kit Kats. Not weird, different.
Oh my
Aw.
God, he's just. There is something about him that is so cute. Like he's just.
That's why I'm saying being the Discord people, you're missing dog pictures.
He's like sleek but scrappy.
Brandimus
looking.
says Baja Blast is a terrible Mountain Dew flavor.
Kick him out. You have that power, don't
You're
you?
entitled to your opinion. I will respectfully disagree with that. I like Baja Blast. It's not my favorite, but I do like it.
Also, Kurt Dog, I need to know in this picture if Barnaby's feet are touching something or they're just floating in the air, because it looks like they're just
probably
like
floating. Yeah.
dangling. He's
All
a
right.
broad-chested boy.
Let's get to the things that are important. Last week, we talked about this a little bit and said that we couldn't talk about it. And I said we can talk about it next week. And now it is next week, so we can talk about it. Nicky Hill and I went to Nintendo was nice enough to invite us to their let's say their East Coast. I don't know what to call it. They invited us to their offices to go play The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, as well as Super Mario Party Jamboree. We cannot talk about Super Mario Party Jamboree yet. We can talk about it eventually. I can't tell you when we can talk about it, but stay tuned for that. But we can talk about our time with Echoes of Wisdom. So I played, I'd say probably about 15 minutes of it, but Nicky Hill and I were sitting right next to each other, so we experienced it together. Nicky Hill, I'll let you take the
May I be
floor.
excused for a moment?
May you please repeat the question?
May I be excused for a moment?
Yes. May you use it in a sentence.
Hmm.
So yes, Nicky, he'll go right ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to talk about things, but
I'm excited.
I enjoyed the game.
Oh,
What?
the Discord. I'm looking at a cat.
Oh, um,
10 Division's got the perfect question for you right off the bat.
what was it?
It says, how many beds will they let you stack at once?
I don't know the answer. Was it 3?
So Try is the new character that Zelda works with, and Try has a tail on them. I don't know if it's a him or her. I don't know if you can enhance that
I don't
tail,
know if
like
it
level
gets
up
longer.
the tail. But would it have 3?
I want to say we saw a
4?
picture with 4.
So
But
it's got
the
4 little
bed, for some reason,
blips hanging off of it, and the little blips indicate like how many echoes you can do. But each echo that you make is worth a different amount. So as Nicky was saying, I think a bed was 1.
Yeah, as some enemies are 2.
Yeah, there was a.
And if you try to create more echoes, the first one that you made will disappear.
Yeah, so it's however many little blips Try has. You can't just keep spamming beds. So let's say a bed does cost 1, and let's say Try has 4 little blips. That means when you go to do a 5th bed, your original first bed will disappear. So, and again, that's different between all echoes. Echoes are different values.
Yeah.
You can make a bunk bed. Yeah, you can put a bed on top of a bed on top of a bed on top of a bed.
Right. But you won't be
But
able
if you
to get
do
on
another
top.
bed, then you won't be able to jump high enough to get onto that bed unless you're putting them down below you. Then you can walk onto them.
But things we found out: beds float.
Mm-hmm.
Water
beds.
Also, so basically, it's not physics based. So if you set the
Hold on a
bed,
second. I want to. This is for you specifically. We're not allowed to say solutions to specific puzzles. I just wanted to make sure I said.
Well, lucky for us, I don't remember the puzzles.
Right. Like specifically in the dungeon, they were like, "Do not say how you solved puzzles in the dungeon." So just
were there puzzles? I don't know.
there were.
Okay.
And you solved.
Well,
them.
stop me quickly if I say the wrong.
I will. Yeah.
But basically, like all I was gonna say is like, it's not really. And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think it's physics based. So basically, you have the head of the bed and the headboard and the footboard. You can put the bed from like the footboard over a gap, and it's not going to just collapse into the gap. Like it's basically going to create a ledge.
Like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild have quote unquote realistic physics when you're balancing things on things. This is just as long as it's like an old school Zelda. As long as they're touching one part,
piece is going to be touching the ledge.
Yeah,
you're good. So there's that. So that gives you the distance or whatever to do a bed only run if you can. Although beds don't inflict damage.
Yeah, when beds drop to the ground, they break. So,
but it was. I mean, I think we had fun. It was,
I had a lot of fun.
It felt like just getting to just play around here where Romy's watching me and we're doing I'm trying to do silly things and we're laughing and having a good time.
While we were playing, I was like, man, they always ask when you go to these events, are you going to do recordings? And I never do because I'm like, I don't need the hassle. I'm not really video focused, whatever. But when we were there playing, I was like, I think this is fun and funny. I wish we were recording this. So
yeah, I think the other people in the room were laughing with us.
Yes.
A couple times they may have been laughing at us.
TKO, amazing.
And we had a moment where we were both shocked and delighted that we were not shy about it. Like other people are playing at other stations and they're like, in their space. And Romy and I, something happened. We were like, whoa! I mean, like we're not, small with our responses.
We're from Jersey, baby. I don't know. I've always been like that when I'm at press events. If you follow GoNintendo and especially you listen to the podcast, you know how I am. I'm not shy about sharing how I feel when I'm excited or interested in something. Like I'm not very demure, to use a TikTok term nowadays. If I'm happy, I let it out. If I'm excited, I let it out. Like I make noise. So we were at a giant table with TVs set up, and there were 3 other groups of 2. playing
there
the game.
3 total?
Or were there 3 total? One down
There were
there,
4
one over here.
televisions,
Yeah,
but
I
we were
guess
on the
so.
same television. There was one
You're right.
group.
So there
Mhm.
were 4 other people, two, and us. And we're each on different sides of the table. It's a pretty big room, pretty big table. But they're all like, playing and like talking quietly to each other. And we are like laughing and like making big noises about everything. Not to be obnoxious, but to let like our genuine feelings out. And I was like, man, we're having fun. Is somebody else here having fun?
I mean, it's no surprise. It's no secret that I have confidence issues, and I have that comes out when I play games, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And so, we're talking through talking about the puzzles and just joking, doing silly things.
Solomester Link says, is it hard to place things in a specific place without being able to move one tile space at a time? Don't think of it really as tile spaces. It's not like, it's not like moving one, like it's open. You can twist and turn in whatever way you want. It's not like the bed goes in this space or the bed goes in the space next to it. It's like the bed just goes wherever you drop
I
it.
had spatial issues with like the platforming element, which I tend to do in a 3D space, or even the what's the term? What kind of game is that? Isometric space.
Yes.
I did not. I may have had a little bit of trouble just because my coordination is a little off with dropping something where I wanted it to be.
The only thing you really had trouble with was that one spider, the rock spider, whatever they're called. I don't know if it's a rock skull.
Well, I really had trouble with that.
You were trying, Nicky Hill was trying to kill a rock spider. Again, I don't remember. It's a Skulltula, but I don't know if it's called a rock tula or whatever. But he was trying to kill it in a very specific way by throwing another rock at it. And he kept missing. And eventually, which was probably my favorite part of the whole demo, he threw the rocks in the perfect place to corner the rock spider in a corner. So the rock spider could not go anywhere. It was trapped there. And Nicky Hill was trying to kill it, but he managed to throw one on top of it and one in front of it. And it was a 2D section of the game. So it was stuck in the corner of a wall, couldn't go anywhere. And that's when one of the reps there was like, you can, like, they said something else you can use. And you're like, no.
Oh, that's the other thing that I have a problem with is like, I can learn a new task, or I can learn something, or I can, look, a new ability, or, I can create this new echo. And rather than just remember that I can go to that, it takes me back. Like what we were playing. I think I even mentioned it there. I was playing Portal here, and I was in the middle of a puzzle, and I'm like, I don't know how to get out of this area. And you're like, oh, maybe you can try, I don't know, a portal. It's the same thing where it's like, you learn stuff.
That did come up for Nicky Hill during the demo session with Zelda. It wasn't portals, obviously, but it was like you can recall your echoes, or you have, an echo for a bed or a boulder or a box or a keys or a whatever, like,
you have a lot to choose from. But again, so now this is the only thing I have an issue with, the menu system. I can talk about this.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of menu selection as in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, where like you have all of these things that you're in your inventory, but you have to go into your inventory and then scroll all the way to the right, however far you have to go to get that item. I feel like there's probably another way, maybe if there's a grid or something, so that you have 4 across and then you scroll down so that you can get to things quicker or whatever. But
yeah, and like I said to you, I don't know if there's an option to sort by favorites or most used or least used. We didn't look at that. I don't know if it's there.
But my whole visual, spatial, or whatever thing is, if I don't see it, I don't remember I have it. And so if like my inventory is really big and I have to scroll all the way through every single thing to remember this one item that I have, I'm never going to use it.
To be fair, also, we played the demo and I had like part 1 of the demo set us up in the prison when you're escaping a Zelda, and part 2 of the demo basically takes you to a dungeon. And those were things Nintendo set up before we got there. So your inventory already has a whole bunch of echoes in it that they're just there. Obviously, if you were playing the game, you would have had to go through the process of collecting the echo yourself, but you're playing a demo, so it's filled with echoes that Nintendo put in there already. So you aren't aware what's in there until you scroll through everything.
Regardless of that, I'm still going to have the trouble, even if I'm the one that acquired them.
There you go. Salamester Link says you can sort by most used or most recently used. There you go.
Okay. But another thing that I didn't do, is like you can, when you get a new Echo, you can look at its attributes and you can know like, oh, this will catch fire, or this will float, whatever. So there, it gives you a better understanding. I didn't do that, so we were just throwing things into the water to see if it would work. So they give you plenty of information to kind
Well,
of.
plus
work.
It's a demo session. You only have a limited amount of time.
Yeah, but
to
I never go through and like, oh, let me learn everything there is to learn about this new enemy that I just captured or copied. Also, Raw Meat made fun of me, rightfully so. I've been playing video games the majority of my life, 40 some, not 40 years, 39, 38 years. And I don't know the button layout of the Switch Pro controller. I don't know the button layouts of any controller without looking at it. So like, I've always had trouble with QuickTime game inputs and stuff like that, because I don't know why. I don't know which one is X and which one is Y, which one is B, which one is A.
And
they were telling us, they were saying like, oh, use the R button. And I'm like, well, is the R button the shoulder button or the trigger button? I can't, I don't know. I gotta look.
I said to him, no, it's the R button. And I was like, I said, the Switch is 7 years old. You don't know. So now I've had a little insight, and I appreciate where you're coming from more. It will paint further conversations in a much better light for you. Now I know. So I did not know that.
I have trouble with a lot of things, and button layouts is one of them.
You could tell
you
that
think
when
that's
you were
bad?
getting into fights with enemies, when you would
I'd hit the wrong button all the time.
Yes, you would constantly throw out of bed or recall everything you put out, and it was very, very funny.
Take that. Oh, no, wait. No.
Also, another favorite part of the demo session was when you were fighting somebody and you accidentally threw out of bed and you decided to get in the bed to lay down and heal yourself because you were hurt. And surprisingly enough, it was just far away enough from the enemy that they let you sleep for a little while. So that was good.
Yeah. So that's that. Had a lot of fun. Oh, the other thing that I had a really freaking hard time with was the what is it? The latching, the
bind and reverse
bond.
If I had to name most painful section of the demo session watching you, that would be it, because there's a section where there's these platforms moving around, and it's another 2D section.
Oh yeah, so
you have to bind yourself to one of them to go along with it, but you can also reverse bond so that you control it, and you have to climb up a vertical section of this place. And
is that the way? I thought that was the opposite. Reverse bond is letting it control you, right?
Bind means you bind yourself to it, and I believe you just move however it moves. And reverse bond is you do whatever you want to. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's one or the other. But Nicky Hill got through the first part just fine. But then there was a part where you had to basically grab onto a platform and hold it so it would move you across, but you were also riding another moving one. It was not going well. He managed to stop the one above him in the perfect amount of distance to not be able to reach the platform he needed to, and then he fell down and had to climb back up. I believe he fell twice and had to go through the section.
Well, the
twice.
binding, it's in the two-dimensional space, it's a straight line. You can't shoot in a diagonal or something. And so I kept trying to get it. I get a little restless too, and I don't want to wait for something to get to me. Well, you can
do an angle if you are above it, and then you stand somewhere and wait, and it continues to move. Then you can stretch the line out. That's why you were having some issues.
Oh, I guess. But yeah.
So you made it, though. Yes, we can't talk about puzzle solutions, but Granimus, there are very much proper Legend of Zelda puzzles. Yes, if you are looking for something that is more classic Zelda in terms of puzzles, then yes, you will be very happy here. If you like the dungeons of previous games and how they made you think and press buttons and move things and figure out conundrums, then you should be very pleased with what you see here. But this permeates the whole game. It's way more open than ever. There may be like a puzzle that's like push the buttons to open the door, but in previous Zelda games it would be, push a couple blocks over here and you open a door. Now in this Zelda you can do whatever you want depending on the echoes that you have, because you have bind and reverse bond. You have echoes that could maybe get the job done, even echoes that aren't supposed to be used in that way or wouldn't even consider to be used in that way. You can use them to solve puzzles like that. So it's the open-ended puzzle solving of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom married with classic 2D Zelda dungeon stuff, and it's great. It made everything feel so new and fresh. And I even said to you, Nicky Hill, when you were playing, you were doing things that I would have never even considered to get through sections, and it was awesome to see.
Oh, really? Because I was going to say we saw an example of a puzzle, I guess.
No solutions
with a solution, and
my solution.
And when I did it, I thought that's what you had said. You were like, that's what I would have done. Like, I wouldn't be doing what they did.
There was one that we did similarly, and there was one that you did in a way I would have never done. Right off the bat, you did one where you're getting out of the dungeon and or you're getting out of the prison and the guards are watching. You traversed things in a way, I won't say how, that I was like, I would have never done it like that. He did it completely opposite of what not even opposite, just in a completely different way that I would have done it. And it shows like right off the bat, it's like, depending on what echoes you got a whole bunch of options here getting through this situation. It's not just like classic Zelda where it's like, I got to get past the guards, wait for them to go around a wall, and then I sneak by. Yes, you can do it that way, but there's a whole bunch of other things that you can do. Like, well, I won't say those things, but yeah. Depending on what you have, there's plenty of ways to get around things, which makes a classic Zelda game feel so open and interesting because whatever you can dream up really is the solution. And Nicky Hill,
sorry, go ahead.
Nicky Hill found there's a spot that you were looking at where you were like, I wonder if I can get over that. And I was like, I don't think you could. And you proved me wrong. You got over that section by building trampolines and beds. And there was a treasure chest back there waiting for you. So I was like, holy crap. Boy, I would have never even considered that. It just looked like a piece of scenery that was meant to be like, this is a wall. You can't go here. But Nicky Hill saw it differently. So I had my eyes open, and now I'm going to be looking more for that stuff. But I was like, I love that kind of stuff when you are like, maybe there's something there. I'm probably going to waste my time building this weird contraption to get there. And then you're like, oh my God, the treasure chest.
It makes games much longer for me because of what happened before that. Is we were in a space and you and I were like, do we go left or do we go right? And I went one way and it took me a different place.
You went the way I would have went, and we both went the wrong way. As far as like, we should have gone the other way first because like,
because there's
another room over and you were done and you got like a treasure chest or whatever, and then the other way. So
but
we both would have done the same thing.
But yeah, because of that, I have that issue of not wanting to miss anything. So I end up having to.
You didn't talk about the pot, not the marijuana. Our biggest moment.
Yes. It was our loudest moment in the event, and the other people playing were like just laughing at us.
What rules, you sons of bitches?
Right. I don't follow any rules, Jordan. I went to jump onto a pot and I fell into it. And what, like, you see like Zelda's eyes or something, right? It's like a
I think like a little head poked out eventually, but
and so you can jump into pots, and I think when you're in it, you can hop around, right?
Oh, you definitely can, because you jumped in the pot and we were like, oh, and then you went to move and you were hopping around in the pot. And we were like, oh my God.
Yeah, so
like a very loud reaction. We were very surprised by it. And then for like a good couple minutes, Nicky Hill was trying to hop around in the pot as far as he could take it. What purpose does it serve? That's another one.
Maybe it's a hiding thing.
You could,
but the thing is like, I don't.
Goodbye, Granimus. Enjoy your tacos.
Did the Nintendo folks there even like? Did we teach them something with that, or they knew about it? I guess they probably know about it.
They know. Someone there knew for sure, but maybe not everybody.
Well, maybe I'm just. Our reaction was so big that I feel like more people reacted, but like I completely forgot about that.
I feel like we were getting, everybody was getting the demo, but I feel like we were really getting the point of like, this is a Zelda where you can really explore, and even though it looks like a classic Zelda, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do that you would have never. And I feel like we were really doing that
Yeah.
stuff. Salamaster Link says that's strange. IGN at least talked about the prison escape in more detail, and even a boss. I wonder if they have a different embargo to agree to. I'll tell you this much: we played it before IGN played it. I don't know. That's possible, but I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes the bigger outlets play a little fast and loose with the rules because they know they're not gonna get barred from saying it. I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong. Maybe they had a different embargo, but I reread the embargo a couple times before today's podcast. It said specifically, do not give solutions to puzzles. So I guess it could depend on what your definition of a puzzle is. But
hey, Grantimus, enjoy those tacos.
But,
Be safe. Getting
we're being safe. Obviously, I'm very appreciative all these years later still to be invited to Nintendo's events like this to get to play stuff. I mean, they told us when we walked in, I've never heard them say it. They said we are among the first in the world to play it. And I know we played it before IGN did. I'm positive.
Have we played it before, Miyamoto? You think?
Yeah, he doesn't even know it's the game. He's got no idea. He doesn't walk to that floor of the office yet. He's like, what are you guys doing up here?
But yeah, so if you haven't heard it anywhere before, which I doubt it, because we're the true investigators here. What is it? Echoes of wisdom.
Echoes of wisdom. I keep saying
Echoes of Cooler.
I know what it is, 100%. But I
Wisdom
keep
of
saying
Echoes?
of time,
No.
and I don't know. Well, because Ocarina of Time, but I keep saying echoes of time, and it's driving me nuts. Also, I want to talk about. This has been in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. But if you haven't watched the most recent trailer, you might want to dip out for a minute or two.
You play.
It was shocking. So we found out before the trailer was shown to the public. Nintendo was like, "You guys are going to see a new ability that hasn't been shared anywhere else, and we're not going to show this yet." They were like, "It's going to be in a trailer a little bit later." So they were like, "You're going to get to see something totally new. We're not going to spoil it for you."
The rep went through their explanation of the game and the echoes and everything, and they said there's one more ability.
And we were like, "Ooh!"
And cut the video, like didn't show us, and they're like, you'll see it for yourself. The other people playing, I didn't hear a reaction when we got there. We were like,
dead. They are dead. Yeah. So we're playing again. If you want to avoid some spoilers that were in the most recent trailer, now's your time to jump out.
I was actually surprised that they just released a trailer.
We walked into a room and there was like a shrouded figure that was in there, and they turned around and it was Link, but he had red eyes. And we were like, what's going on here? And then you have to fight Link, which is in and of itself a puzzle. I won't say how you solve it because we're not allowed to. But after that,
I'll tell you, I had a hard time solving it.
You see,
if it wasn't for you being there.
You threw out a lot of beds at first, but you got there.
Go to sleep.
That's what I tell Rami every time he complains about something. I'm like, just go to sleep.
Yeah,
we don't know.
This Link is just cranky.
We don't know the details of this Link. Obviously, it's not regular Link. It's a shadow of Link, or something's going on weird with
I'll
Link.
also tell you, the trick was not putting him in a pot.
But you get it's not the Master Sword. They kept saying like a sword, some sword. You get a sword, and this sword gives Zelda the ability. I don't remember what it's called.
I can't remember.
It's some kind of like hero fighter or something, whatever. But Zelda gets a sword, but you can't use it all the time because it's filled by a blue meter. You activate the meter, and it gives basically Zelda Link's core abilities, which is use a shield and slash with a sword. So when you transform into that mode, the meter's ticking down pretty quickly. But say you get into a situation where like you're in a lot of danger and you can't think of the right echo to pull out, or you're nervous, you could turn on this meter, slash around with the sword, and then that's that. You can also get these little blue pieces of energy to refill that meter. I'm sure there will be a potion or something later on.
Well, that's the thing is, so like you get this ability, but it actually creates like a different element of gameplay completely because you have a time frame, like a time limit. And then you also have to collect these things, which, like, I think, did you just say it? Like they're kind of floating.
Pieces of energy that float around. Yeah.
Yeah.
A mystical sword, they say in the trailer, says Salamaster Link. It is clearly not the Master Sword. It does not
SD
look like
says
the Master
Tri-Sword.
Sword.
Is that what the game?
They
or
could
that's
just be guessing.
They're
but yes, it is not. It does not look like the Master Sword in any way, shape, or form. It looks very different.
But when we gained that ability, we were in a room with like there was like a wall of windows. almost shattered. I think the way we
You mean in real life?
that. Yes,
That room was all windows.
it was a conference room.
We were very excited.
We
I was
were
like,
so
"Whoa,
excited about
what's
it.
going on?"
You know, it was like, you know, we were in the audience of a Marvel movie, and there was a huge
I'm not saying
cameo or something.
I'm not saying anyone's wrong for reacting how you react. I think a lot of people there are like, you know, I'm gonna say more demure. I'm gonna say more
mindful,
reserved while
very
I'm doing this
cutesy.
because I want to be respectful. And it's not because like I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm gonna, you know, I know these people. From day one to day now, I will give you my genuine reaction when I'm playing these games. Like if I'm excited, you're gonna see it. If I'm happy or I think something's funny, you're gonna see it. Like that. And I'm glad Nicky Hill is the same way. We were very like you would have to think like people would be there when we left. They'd be like either, boy, those guys are noisy, or boy, they really liked it.
Right.
So
You know what? Especially in that environment, like if you were in like a serious environment and like, you know, like laughing and being rowdy, I could see people
Yes.
getting annoyed. But it's very sad to me when you're somewhere and you clearly see people of any age just having fun. It makes me so sad when people get mad at that.
Yeah.
Like I love to see, like I teach in a middle school, and to watch like the kids just be like stupid and have fun is so lovely.
Are we done talking about that spoiler stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to
Oh yeah.
put it in the chat.
So, you know, I hope that everyone who saw you having that much fun was like,
I don't think
happy.
nobody had an issue with us, and it's very possible that they had similar reactions, but like we were just, it's not like we were in a little booth or something. We were
Yeah.
just at a conference table in front of a television, but we were in our own world.
And I want to say, like, we were not being obnoxious or anything. Like they were our genuine reactions. It was not like we were playing things up or being loud, just be loud. They were genuine reactions. I want to say this. I want to give a shout out to, I know, you know, I've been doing a site for 20 years. I've come to know some Nintendo people. JC Rodrigo, who you've seen on the Treehouse a whole bunch of times. I've come to know him really well. At the Switch, one of the Switch events before the Switch came out, we were playing, he was at the event, and it was just a big free-for-all.
I think I was there.
And I thought so. We had the chance to play whatever the Bomberman game is that launched on Switch.
You played with us, right?
Yes, JC was like, "Oh, come play Bomberman with me." And I like Bomberman. So we were playing Bomberman, and we were like screaming and yelling and laughing because we were having that much fun. And then like somebody came, we were doing it for like 10 minutes, and then somebody came over to JC, and then they left, and JC was like, "Oh, we got to be quiet. We're having too much fun over here." And he was laughing about it. He's like, "Man, we're having a good time." But you know, that's
don't
the
know
way we are.
if it was the other people playing at their screens, but with some of our reactions, I'm pretty sure the reps that were with them were laughing at us. Not like in a mean way.
Yeah.
They were like enjoying that we were having such a good time.
You got to a section where we heard a very specific noise, and then that same noise happened like 2 seconds later on the other TV, and we looked over at them. We were like, "Oh!" And they didn't even notice. And one of the other reps did, and it was like, "You guys got to the same part at almost exactly the same time." We were laughing about that, and then they started laughing too. But Super Bomberman R, thank you, Tendivision. Yes, played that with JC Rodrigo. Had one of my favorite memories with Nintendo ever. JC's just fantastic in general, but it was like a genuine, like, we are having fun playing video games. We love Nintendo. We love playing these multiplayer games. It was like we were sitting in the living room and just having fun. It was great. So that's how we are when we play. MomBrain at the Wii U event before the Wii U launched, and we were playing Nintendo Land, and we were playing that Donkey Kong one. Where it's the one on the wheels, and you have to get like we were like really getting into that, and one of the Nintendo reps there was like laughing with us and having fun. I was like, this is what
that's why
this is what sells the system. Yeah, this is what makes these things fun. But we had a great time. We had a really, really great time. Anything else you want to say about Zelda that's not spoiler related?
Well, one thing that the rep had mentioned, which might be common knowledge
Zelda
now too,
is a girl.
Is I guess the game is linear, but you can do it in whichever way you want.
It's like any Zelda game.
Is
Yeah.
it? I mean, they made it a big point. I don't.
No, it's like any of them. Well, I guess it's in more particular, like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. There's very much a mainline story you go through, but you are free to wander around. I don't know if areas will be gated off or not, and you
Right,
need
but
certain
so, like,
abilities, but
You
There's-
don't have to finish one, dungeon before going to another one specifically. You can chart your own path depending
yeah,
on
but
what.
I know, but that's like the first Zelda too. You know, you
Yeah,
could go into
yeah.
a dungeon and wander back out if you want to. They were stressing very much that there's a lot of side quests that can help you. Again, not anything
Right.
crazy for Zelda, but they were making it seem like you're going to come across a lot of these, and you can take them on, and they may get you things that help you out in some way, or for customization purposes or whatever. But yeah, the
Which is very that. So when they were mentioning that, it reminded me of both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, where you like to. I know you like to and do, and then I did as well. Open the whole world
Blood Ocean. If I didn't say hi,
before advancing the story, but then once you started advancing the story, you earned abilities where you're like,
Yeah.
well, that would have made that easier. And so, like, who knows? If I'm probably gonna buy the game. Will I ever play it? Who knows with my track record? But if I play it, I don't know how I'm gonna want to play it, because
again,
it
yeah,
does just make sense.
I don't know
you
how much of it will be like you'll get to spots that you literally cannot go to because you don't have what you need. You know, in old
No,
Zeldas.
but
I'm saying I
yeah.
don't know. In older Zeldas, there was a lot of that. You'd be like, you just can't get in there because you haven't progressed the story enough. I don't know how much of this is going to be more Tears of the Kingdom versus classic
From
Zelda.
what they were
We'll find
saying, I
out.
feel like it's more like Tears of the Kingdom, where like
You'll have more
you can get around, but it'll just make it a little bit easier if you play
with the right echoes. It seems like you'll be able to get quite a few places. Yeah. Maybe before. I don't want to say before Nintendo's
might not-
expecting you to.
You might not encounter a specific type of enemy
Yeah.
or echo or object until a different place if you follow the story. I don't know.
So thank you to Nintendo for inviting us. We had an excellent time. It was a lot of fun. Again, we do have thoughts to share on Super Mario Party Jamboree, but we are not allowed to yet. I'm allowed to tell you we played it. Just can't tell you when we can talk about it or write about it. So stay tuned for that. But it was great. It was a really fun time. I love having people there with me. So it's great to have Nicky Hill. And I think when one of us is playing and one of us is watching, we jive like really well. Like we just had fun, and it was a lot of fun to see and watch. And I was laughing a lot, and I learned a lot. It was a good time. It was a very good time. And thank you for carting my ass in there. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Nintendo.
All right, MomBrain. Now it's your turn. The Nintendo
Thank you
talk
for
is over for now.
asking me to.
Oh, of course. Nintendo talk is over for now.
Oh, I have something else before we get into news.
SD, I don't want to get in any trouble. I'm not going to say anything related to our Mario Party sessions. I look forward to being able to talk to you about it. I'll say that. Yes, Nicky Hill.
I had something to give you.
Oh, I already got soda and M&Ms.
It's not food, but it
I'm out.
smells like food.
I'm maybe in. Oh, I got something to tell you.
So he showed it to me and was like, "Don't tell Ramit," and I was like, "Okay." And then I
Did
thought
you
to
get it?
myself,
Oh my
"I
God.
have something
As
that I
soon as
can't tell
hold
him."
on, I'll tell you. As soon as I opened his Ziploc, I smelled it.
That's why
Nicky
it's in
Hill
a
brought me
Ziploc.
the
You know what?
Dr. Squatch Cowabunga Cleanse Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle soap, basil leaves, and tomato extract. Holy moly! I mean, it still smells like soap.
If you
but
don't want to work at a pizza place, but smell like
would
you
never
do,
use this. You can't use that.
You could use it. I think it smells great.
You would use that as a soap,
Yeah, it smells like oregano.
but you'd smell
does-
like a pizza.
wait, is it zero grit
Where does it say that?
on the bottom? No, on the right here. On the bottom.
Basil leaves and tomato extract, zero grit. You are
Mhm.
correct. There you go, Ninja Turtle. Man, I can't believe it smells.
It
I
smells
mean,
strong.
they were going for a pizza smell. It doesn't smell of Teenage Turtle. No, it smells of pizza.
Ew.
But it's very. Thank you. Is this for me?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like I have the other ones you gave me in my office to make them smell nice. I don't know that I could put it. I'll put it on display, but
gotta
maybe
use
keep
it.
in the back. It's very funny. You bring that up. I swear to God, MomBrain, you'll be able to tell your story in a second. But perfect segue, and you didn't even know it. Let me get into my email here. Sorry, this was not planned, so give me a second.
Okay.
Okay. The Dr. Squatch people got in touch to see if we wanted to get a sample of the Minecraft-inspired diamond scrub infused with real diamond powder.
Oh, that was limited, and I like it sold out pretty.
They
really
are
fast.
sending it over, so it's on its way. And I said we would talk about it on the podcast, so get ready.
Can we talk about that? Minecraft, real quick.
The movie?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead. This
Well,
is
the
a
only
video
thing
game podcast.
the only thing I want to talk about is how. Sorry, MomBrain, you had something to say. You
No, go ahead.
had a story.
It's a whole thing. It's going to take a bit.
Oh, you know how our reaction to Seth Rogen was like, oh, yeah, I'll be Donkey Kong, but I'm not gonna act. It's just gonna be my voice or whatever. Jack Black is like that now in live action. Like, so I was watching that trailer for the Minecraft movie, and I was like, damn, he didn't even like. He just rolled out of bed and showed up to work. His beard is like the same, like, two or three colors?
Well, I would imagine storyline-wise, he's going to tell a story about how he got stuck in the Minecraft world. And
I know,
just what
but like
been doing.
he's just it is.
He's Jack
It's
Black.
Jack Black
Yeah.
from Jack Black's like TikTok in real life, basically. He just showed up to work and was like, "Hey,
I would imagine, yeah, that's what they want for the movie because little kids will be like, oh, all about
I
it.
love bearded men."
Well,
weird.
like they're getting like Nickelodeon Kids Choice Awards Jack Black, or something
Right?
like that.
They're getting the guy that they know was the voice of Bowser.
Yeah.
Like,
By the way, I know people went nuts crapping on that trailer. It's whatever. It's fine. Like I wasn't offended by it. It doesn't look like
But-
it's going to be for me, but it's not meant for me anyway. So
it's not exact. Like it's a weird digital real life hybrid thing. Like the animals and not the characters, but the animals and stuff are not what you see in the game. Like they're weird digital. I don't even know what to say.
Blood Ocean says maybe it's like Tron, where he's a real guy stuck in a video game.
But
I
it's
would
a-
imagine,
but it's
that's
a
what gonna be
style.
like.
It's just a style. And when I saw it, I was thinking to myself, like, oh, this is basically like probably like Jumanji, the new Jumanji.
Yeah.
In
Numanji.
Numanji. Just swap out the name. But I'm not angry about it because they're not trying to force it to be exactly the way like the game is. Like they're taking creative liberties and whatever. Like the people are real, so other things can be like weirdish. So
10 Division says
I also have
great.
nothing invested in
10
Minecraft.
Division
like-
says the trailer was fine. People massively exaggerated how bad it was. I agree. I don't think it's bad at all. It's just not for. It's going to be a kids movie, and that's fine. That's totally fine. I think it looks fine. I'd love to see another trailer, to see more of it, but yeah, maybe because my expectations were it's just going to be a weird, goofy movie, and it'll be colorful and whatever. We'll all find out together. Kurt Dog says kids deserve better. MomBrain.
I don't think it's. I honestly don't think it's a bad thing. Like it's. I think because of things like Jumanji, it opens me up to it. It's not, like I said, it's not sticking to like an art style in a fully animated system. It's blurring real light, like live action and with computer animated stuff. It's not trying to make everything look hyper real with terrible graphics or terrible computer animation. So like, sure, let's go for it.
Here's the thing. It's a hugely popular franchise, so opinions are going to be very strong, and it is what it is. MomBrain, please, without further ado, your non-Nintendo story that I promise is worth everyone's time. I really want you to start from the beginning.
I'll do the best I can.
Okay.
But I'm sure that you will
I
disagree.
Radical
and
defect. It is related to Pipa.
It's related to
true.
Pipa.
Is she okay?
She's fine.
Great.
She's more than fine.
This is the story of Pipa the hero.
Make sure you speak loudly and clearly.
Yes,
Oh,
I will
holding
speak
the
loudly
microphone.
and
This is-
clearly.
It's a story for
So
the ages.
let's say Monday night or Tuesday night. I think it was Tuesday night.
Doesn't matter the day. I'm curious why you're talking about
Well,
night.
So Tuesday night, we notice, Ramit tells me, I think Pipa is like tracking a bug in my office. And she's like hanging out.
What is this story? I'm so confused. It's already off the rails.
Let her speak.
Go ahead, I guess.
Would you like to tell her?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So I go in and I get my phone out and I get my flashlight out and I look underneath the couch and I don't see much of anything.
Okay, so I am going to jump in. You're missing the whole part of the story from the beginning of that day. Remember, the cat
That
woke
was
me
the
up.
next day.
No, that was.
Oh, it was the same day?
Yeah.
Oh.
So the morning before MomBrain's part of the story, the cat woke me up. I was asleep, and the cat woke me up because she's like screaming, whatever. And I'm like, "What do you want?" I was like, "Maybe something." She's done it before when like something falls into her bed or something falls somewhere that she hangs out and she needs it fixed. So I went to my office to see if something was wrong with her bed because that's where she spends a lot of her time, and there was nothing there. So I was like, "What's going on?" And then I went to go lay back down, and she's still screaming. So I went back. I'm like, "People, I don't see what's happening." And I walked past her food bowl, and I noticed her food bowl was empty. And I was like, "Oh." So I gave her dry food, and she ran right over to it, and she sniffed it, and then like stopped meowing and walked away. And I was like, "She's mad that I'm not giving her wet food. I get it." And then I went to sleep, and she stopped doing what she was doing. Then the night came.
And I'm looking around and I don't see anything. But she's like looking with me and she's like purring and she's like, yeah, like come on. So I lift the couch up and there's nothing under the couch except one of her spring toys that she loves, her Bioing. So I'm like, oh, it was your Bioing that you wanted. Like, that's stupid and sweet and lovely. So let me get you your Bioing. And I put it out into the living room and
She chased it around.
she's running around after it.
And that was that.
She's happy as a clam.
Until
So I go to bed at like 9:30 because it's a school night.
And I do not go to bed until like 5 in the morning, so I'm up. You want me to tell this part since I was the one that was awake, and then it'll get to you eventually?
Sure.
So I'm in my office working, and I am just doing whatever, listening to music, getting my work done. And I hear something, and I'm like, "What is that noise?"
Boing, boing, boing,
And I'm
boing,
like,
boing.
the cat's in my office, but she's just like sitting up against the wall, like looking, staring off into space. And I'm like, that noise. I was like, whatever that noise is, that maybe that's what was driving the cat nuts. And I'm like, is there something like outside the window? So I go look at the window. At first, I thought it was raining. I was like, and it's not raining. So I'm looking at the window right in my office and I don't see anything. And I'm like, maybe there's a tree branch brushing up against the house or something. I don't see anything.
Oh,
I go
no.
downstairs and I look out the window downstairs because that's right at ground level. And I open the window, put the flashlight out. Nothing. I don't see anything. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I was like, I guess during the daytime, I'll go outside and look and see what's out there if something's causing a problem. So I go back to my desk and I sit down to go do more work and the noise starts again. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And the cat's like looking under the sofa in my office. And I'm like, what? People, we've done this so many times. And I lift it up. I'm like, there's nothing there. And there's like a couple boxes and she's walking around looking at the boxes. I'm like, people, what do you want? There's nothing here. I put it back down. I go to do more work. I hear another noise. She's still looking at the couch. And I'm like, what do you want? So like I take the couch and I'm going to flip it all the way up against the wall. So it's literally not on the floor. And then I was like, did I just see something? Am I losing my mind? And I'm looking.
Was it the tall man?
And I go look around the corner of the couch. And I'm like, I think I just saw something. Now you go ahead.
So it's like 12:15 in the morning. and I am awakened by raw meat. I'm in some other alternate dimension.
I've never seen anybody look so she was, that kid that falls on the bike in that video and he's like, I'm dying. Help me. That's what MomBrain was like. Her eyes were like, I don't know what planet she was on, but she could not process anything that was happening. I was talking to her.
You
I was
ran
getting
upstairs
nothing.
and woke her up?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And, I have blackout curtains. Anything that has like a charger that has a light, I have covered. Like I have it pitch black in the bedroom. And I have on like my stories in the background at just the right, like everything's just right. He's got the whole light on outside the bedroom, opens the door and comes in.
She knows if the light's on, something serious is
So
going
he
down.
wakes me up and immediately are my parents okay?
Right.
Did someone die? Is everyone okay?
Now, I want to preface, as soon as I woke her up, I said, everything is fine. I promise everything is fine. I know she wasn't hearing or processing, but I kept saying it over and over again. I'm like, everybody's okay.
Yeah, but
Everybody's
that's
fine.
very
So I'm horrified. I'm horrified. And he says to me, Pipa's been right all along. There's a mouse in my office.
When I lifted the catch the last time, I was like, I swear to God, I just saw a mouse. I think I saw a mouse. And when I looked around the corner, I thought I saw something scurry away. And I was like, Pipa, hold on. And I was like, oh God, I was thinking to myself, and I'm like, there's no way I can get this on my own. I don't want to, it's in my office. So I'm like, I don't want to miss my chance of like catching it. I don't want it running around the whole
So
house.
let me run upstairs.
Well, I left the door closed.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I was like,
They
MomBrain's
can
gonna
get under the door.
MomBrain's gonna kill me, but I gotta wake her up. Like, this is important. So I woke her up, and I know she's gonna be mad at me.
So I'm like
Great.
disoriented. And now I'm exceedingly pissed off because I have to get up. It's the first week of school. Things are insane. I know I've got a teaching assistant out and, things are just nuts
Ready?
in my classroom. And I am now awakened in the middle of the night after, half the night has gone by. So I'm laying there. He like walks away. He like goes downstairs. He's like, are you mad at me? And he goes, I was like, I don't know what I am.
Wait.
And he goes, we have a mouse in the house. What do we do?
Yeah,
I said, it's midnight and I just woke up. I don't
Let it go to
know.
sleep. It's probably tired.
So
she acts like that's a crazy question for some reason.
I come down. I'm in a t-shirt and underpants. I am like, my eyes aren't even open all the way. And I'm like nauseous because I'm awake. We go in the office.
And it's updating the site.
And it's typing away. So we go in the office, which is very small, but has lots of things in it and nooks and crannies. He's got like Rubbermaid plastic buckets, like shoebox sized clear plastic buckets. And he's like, what do we do?
Not shoebox size. Come on.
Oh my
Man.
gosh.
At least double.
So I'm like, and he's like scared.
I'm
He's
not
scared.
scared. There's a difference between scared and nervous. I don't want the mouse
I
to
can't
like
do my work.
skitter over my feet. Like I'm not. It's like I'm not like, oh my God, I'm horrified. There's a mouse. I'm like, this is uncomfortable.
I understand. Like, I don't want to say skeeved out feeling.
Yes.
But it's also like it happens. It's not something to be like too concerned or like nervous or embarrassed or whatever about. But the initial shock, yeah, I can understand it.
Yeah, and it's in the office, and I want to get it while it's there before it runs throughout the house.
Who got it in the end?
Well, hold on,
Well,
we'll keep going.
So I'm like in it. Like I'm not messing around. I'm not scared.
Right.
Also, I
You
just
wanna
want to
just-
go the fart back to bed as quickly as humanly possible. So
Oh, but he loves cheese. Might get after your cheese.
So Piper, so I said to Rami, I was like, shut your door to the office. So it's Piper and me and him in the office. Shut the door. And then we like stuffed a blanket underneath the door so that we're definitely.
But you don't even know if it's still in there at this
Oh,
point.
it's there. Pipa's on it.
So
She
Pipa's
knows
on it.
something's
She
up.
And I'm going, flush it out, girl. Flush it out for us because we can't, it was very small. So it finally,
J-Bug, that's
we
great.
get it kind of like cornered. And it's like behind Raw Meat's computer. And I'm like, go get a big plastic cup because maybe I can.
Also, my computer is open.
Right. So it went inside the computer for a second.
Oh, so it got in the fan and started running around, right?
I wish.
For the future, make sure you have a Santa jacket and a hammer.
Well,
I
he was
said that to
like,
her.
catch it with a coat, smack it with a hammer.
Yeah.
So I am like crouched and like bent. And I'm like, go get a plastic cup and bring it in. The man takes like 3 minutes as I'm just staring at this
I
mouse.
imagine
Like,
he's like, well, do I want to use this cup? Oh, I drink that one
And
from
no,
now on
no,
a
no,
lot.
no.
I knew exactly what cup I was getting. It was just above the fridge, and I had to move stuff to get it. I knew exactly the perfect cup.
so, and
Hi, Guy
there's
Bones.
like, a couple of times where I'm like, listen, I'm going to move. I need you to keep your eyes peeled because if we lose it, I don't want to waste time trying to find it again. So like, excuse me, we're like, trying to finagle it.
We never lost it.
It finally is like really, it would like go somewhere and sit there for a little while. And then, so we finally get it like on the run. And
It was good.
He is like, his voice is like 7 octaves higher. And he's like, oh my God, it's right here. Oh my God, it's right here. Oh my God. And finally, like 2 or 3 times, he's dropping the container upside down to like
Try to trap it.
And he goes, did I get? Oh my God, I got it.
Wait, are these clear
We-
containers?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We skipped a whole bunch here. There was a point. I said I was nervous about the mouse like running across my feet. There was a point where it literally ran across my feet, and she's like,
Hysterical laughing because he is just so like,
I wasn't like blood
Worked-
curdling screaming,
just
but I was like,
worked
it's
up.
on my feet. But I'm also like, it's on my feet, and I'm trying to watch where it goes and everything. We chased it like from the front of the room. Again, as MomBrain said, the room's really small. From the entertainment center to my desk, entertainment center to my desk. Like it kept, and Pipa is like the whole time chasing it.
but by the end, she's just laying on her side,
like Kayla.
exhausted
Yeah.
from like 24 hours of like
being on
vigil.
Yeah.
She's like laying in the corner, like up against the wall, like watching like where it is.
She's like, you guys take it from here. So he finally gets it. But now we've
How do
got it
you-
underneath,
Yeah.
right?
So again, for the record, I caught the mouse.
Yes.
Just want to point that out.
And he rips off a piece of cardboard from like a Lego set box
Mhm.
and I slide it underneath. But first we set up this like vapor lock situation so that if it were to escape, it couldn't really go anywhere else. So we could recatch it. And I'm so scared that I'm going to like hurt the poor mouse as I'm putting the cardboard under. I don't want to catch any of its like paws or anything. So we finally get the piece of cardboard underneath. And then I'm like, okay, so I'm going to flip it over. And Rami's like, hold on, wait, hold on. And I'm like, why don't you go get some tape? And we'll tape the cardboard. And that way, because at this point, I'm like, we're so close to me being able to go back to sleep.
The
like,
big
I don't want to
difference
fumble.
here is all I'm asking is for MomBrain to I just want to be on the same page. What are we doing? Because she's going to like flip this box, and I'm like, what are you doing?
And I
Just tell me
wanna
what
get
you're
this over
doing.
with, right? So I'm like, go get tape. And he's like, well, where is tape? And I was like, you know what? Just hold the box. I'll go get the tape. So I go get the tape.
Held
I
it with my life.
open-
The mouse was pushed back hard, but I managed to keep the
I
box.
open the sliding glass door in preparation for bringing it outside.
Oh, and 14 other mice came in.
We tape everything up. I flip the container over. We have a picture of, I said we should get a picture just for posterity.
Picture coming to the Discord momentarily.
And I say, okay, I open the sliding glass door. If you could just help me by opening oh God, it was so cute. If you could just help me by
Wow,
opening
It's a big snout and big ears, huh?
You know,
the screen door, that'd be great. And he says to me, we can't let it out in the backyard. And I say, why can't we let it out in the backyard? And he says, because it will come right back inside.
that's
And I
rule
said,
number 1.
and I said at 1 o'clock in the morning, I said, well, what if we put it just like way in the corner, kind of towards the neighbor's house? And Ramit says, I don't think that's far enough.
I'm,
And then
this is right.
And then I said, it's 1:30 in the morning. You want me to take this effing thing for a ride in the car? And he says, yes, I think so.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What do you want to finish?
And I said, where am I taking
Yeah.
it? And he goes, well, how far should we go? And
Take
I
it
said,
to Nicky Hill's house. He's
I
far
said,
enough.
it is 1:30 in the morning. I don't know what the rule is about how far
Giant Reggie, amazing.
one must take a mouse in order for it to not come back. So he says, well, let's take it to this place here.
You could have just taken it to the stream and held it underwater.
And I said, okay.
It's terrible.
I said, get me my bag, get me my purse.
Oh, no.
And I said, do you have your phone? Because I didn't have mine. Mine was upstairs on the charger. And he goes, yeah, I got my phone. I said, all right, go unlock the car, grab my bag. And he's like trying to find my bag. And I'm just standing in the kitchen holding a mouse in a bucket at 1:30 in the morning, thinking about lesson plans for the next day.
Well, hold on. I do want to say this since you're getting into the weeds here. She says, get my purse. Would you think that a purse looks like a fanny pack? Because I would not. But that's what her purse is, a fanny pack.
It's not. It's a crossbody.
I've never seen you wear it like that.
I mean, I
I've
haven't.
never worn it around my stomach ever in my life.
I know, but it looks like a fanny pack.
Okay.
Go get it.
You've seen me wear it. It's crossbody.
So that when I hear purse, I have an image in my head of purse.
Yeah.
However,
I have purse.
I do not live with MomBrain 24/7. If I did, I'd have a better idea of the bag that she uses to go places.
So that is true, but she has multiple bags.
Go get it.
I'm not.
She
Why, to
does.
show that it looks like a fanny pack?
She does, but you're
Go
get
very
Go
attentive
ahead, tell us.
with many things, and I would assume that the recent
There's
one,
other things of mine. He doesn't
If-
know what they look like either, but we won't go there.
even if there was 2 or 3, I don't know how many bags you alternate with, but
Very few.
I just grab all 2 or 3. I just get whatever I need. Look at that thing. It's full. It looks like it's ready to go.
It's not a fanny pack.
I didn't say it was.
Hold it by the strap.
Said it looks like a fanny pack.
Oh, it does kind of look like a fan. Oh no.
Thank you.
No. But the zipper is the place that would go against
Correct.
the
I've never worn
the
it
body, so
as a fanny pack is worn.
right.
I have only ever worn it as a crossbody. And I've had it for over a year and used it almost every day. No, I don't have any other purse that is a regular purse that it would have been confused with.
You have other bags, but I
Yes.
like that
Yeah.
they're seasonal. You
other
change them out.
bags.
Yeah, I might change, anyway,
But anyway,
Okay. So how far did we go with this?
like a mile.
Did we check the mileage though? Did we like
we
to
we went right down like two
the
cul-de-sacs.
okay.
We went to the little bridge over there.
So
It's like not even a 2-minute drive.
Did you like when you were driving back, did you like dust the ground and make sure it couldn't follow the trail?
So he's holding it on his lap because he's like, well, what? I could just walk it if you want. I was like, I'm not sending you at 1:30 in the morning with a container to walk down the like.
And you
that's
didn't. And you, I mean, I understand the man doesn't like driving. It's a good time of night to be on the road.
Mhm.
Um, Also, I'm a little surprised you didn't give it a little bit of cheese just to help it calm down and
Not opening up that box. Were you crazy? That thing
Slide
ran
it
across
in.
my
You
feet.
can cut a little hole, but yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe I just go back to sleep and deal with it another time, or
multiple times.
if I was successful with capturing it, I might just poke a couple holes. I mean, you don't even need to poke a couple holes. It's getting
And it
air.
bites through the holes and runs away.
No, and I would leave it out on the porch, for the morning maybe.
Crazy.
Or you put something heavy on top of it so it can't just tear through the top, and drive it someplace when timing is a little bit better.
multiple times during this whole escapade, he's like, are you mad at me? Please don't be mad at me. Are you mad at me? Please don't be mad at me. And I kept just reiterating, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad that I'm awake.
She did say that.
I'm mad that this is happening to me in my life right now.
Oh,
And I'm also
worse things have happened to
and-
better people.
Also, I'm a little mad at you.
Yeah, the truth.
By the
is.
way, sorry to interrupt. I just have to say this real fast. Went back. Haven't drank the Oreo drink in a little bit. Went back. I got a strong Oreo flavor. So it's a weird
I've been
thing.
drinking it the whole time. Oreos.
Yeah. Well, take pauses. Continue though, please.
So thank you. I get a little sentimental when I go to drop it off. I'm like, I'm really sorry about
We've
this
been through a lot together.
that happened to you, little dude. But here's your new home. And I feel bad because I'm like, you know, where did you live? Where is your family? And
I
I
lived in our house.
I kind of feel bad after all it's been through, but we did leave it right next to the community garden. So I thought,
Some tomatoes.
yeah, you got all kinds of, yep. And I get back in the car and Ramit's like, I did the right thing waking you up. And I was like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's right. You did the right thing waking me up. I'm glad that we saved the mouse. I woke up the next morning.
The mouse was in bed with me.
I was asked by one of my colleagues, who is a very good friend of mine, if I was in fact high because my eyes were bloodshot and I looked like crap. Because, after all that, you don't just like close your eyes and fall back to sleep again. It was a little bit of a rough day yesterday, but it did make for an excellent story. It was just, I just really was very sad to be awake.
I think it goes to show how good of a relationship we are. I think we got the job done. You were laughing at me while it was happening.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it was. Do I want to do it? No. Was it fun? No. But it was something, and we did it, and that's it.
And that's that.
And now I live inside of the couch. That's where I hide my cheese.
And I looked at him and I was like,
It was up inside. Is there like a hole in the couch?
No,
think
there's
so.
not a hole in the couch, but the bottom is, it has those upholstery staples for the bottom of the couch, and
Right.
they're loose enough to the point that you could sneak in there. So I would imagine that's where it was. That's oddly enough where Pipa went when we first got her. She crawled inside the bottom of the couch.
So I also was like, and his office was like trashed from us just trying to like get to it. And I just and as I'm like underneath the couch, I'm like, oh, well, there's some turds,
They were mine though.
So I just said to him, I was like, I can trust you to like clean up what needs to be cleaned up. Like I'm going to bed now.
Mhm.
Like I was like, I can't, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I mean, of
yeah.
course I'm going to clean my office. I
Yeah.
work and pretty much live in there. So,
Yeah. So
but we did it.
we did it.
What'd you name the mouse?
Fudge
That was it. Fudge.
the mouse.
So, long story, very long story, very short. Pipa was right, and it's Pipa the hero.
So we named, because it happened after midnight. So yesterday, we have now dedicated as Pipa the Hero Day. Forgot to say that when we came home, I gave her a whole can of wet slop.
Yep.
And we just gave, we kept telling her she's the hero. And
She's like, yeah,
What a
but
good
I mean,
girl.
thanks for the slop, but I really wanted to eat that mouse.
The
I
best
don't
part
think
is
she did.
No.
The best part is
This
she was
was
all
kitchen.
over that mouse. Every zigzag it went, she was on top of it like a kitten. Then when we caught it, she could not see that it was right in front of her face. I'm like, Pipa, it's right here. You're looking right at it. I'm like, it's right in there. And she's like looking around for it. I'm like, how do you not know? It's right here.
Because that's not how cats see.
But yeah, and then like for the rest of that night, she was in the office with me while I was working, and she was sitting like up against the wall, like looking at the couch. And I was like, girl, we got it. It's gone. And then eventually she was like, all right. And she went and laid in her bed, went back to sleep.
So now we're just terrified that
Just
like
babies or something.
that she's going to start like acting like that again. And we're going to have to like, we have to believe her because she was right.
And that's the other thing, like where you live, it doesn't take like a big things happen.
Yeah.
No matter where you live.
Yeah.
Mice can get into the smallest of cracks,
Totally.
and our homes are not air and watertight or whatever.
And we're
so-
also
I will
not the
show
kind
you,
of people
The Pipa bed in my office.
who would use like any kind of like poison or like pesticides or herbicides. Like, we don't do any of that. So I think it probably leaves us, like, we don't have like exterminators or whatever. So I guess it does leave us more open to like the outside coming in.
So for those looking at the picture of the Pipa bed, the thing behind her is literally the couch where the mouse was. So she was laying in her bed trying to sleep with the thing running around right next to her head. So there you go. That's our story.
Wow.
Got Zelda impressions and mouse
I have
Mhm.
I've noticed some existence of mice in my basement, and I've gotten like the have a heart traps or like whatever. Put a little bit of peanut butter in there, and either they've left before they're like, this guy's got nothing for me here,
Or Nicky Hill eats the peanut butter.
In his sleep.
but they never like I'm not good at this.
He wakes up with have a heart traps on his hands.
So I don't know. They don't seem to jump in there, but that's also a good thing because I don't go and check the traps regularly, like every day. So they would probably just go in there and then starve anyway. So maybe they know that they're like, this guy's lazy. He's not going to check up on us. Let's just leave.
They're also very light and small. So like they might be able to like get the peanut butter without.
No, the peanut butter goes like on the far side. So they have to, the trap is like a lever, like a lever or whatever, like a seesaw. And so it goes up. And when it goes up, it tips it down. And when it gets off, it tips back. And that's how it has to get around the corner to get the thing. So it shouldn't work that way unless they have a team working together. But yeah, I don't know. All that being said, I should probably finish these M&Ms so there's no open food containers around.
Let's get to some other stuff. MomBrain, did you know that you could join the GoNintendo Patreon?
For $1.
For $1. That's right. $1 will get you access to everything we do there. What did I write about this week? Let me tell you. I wrote about how actually before the Minecraft trailer came out, we didn't even know it was coming out. But I was getting the urge to play Minecraft and how I haven't played it in so long. And I've been feeling like I want to get back into it. So I talked about that. We did our new Nintendo World Championships NES Edition Challenge. This is week 7 of our challenges. I believe we're going to have one more week of challenges. I forgot to log in and I don't know my login, so I can't tell you the exact name of the challenge we're doing, but it's the Kirby one, where Kirby's Adventure one where you fight the tree boss, whatever his name, Wispy. That's the one that we're doing, so you can get in on that. I wrote about the Elusive Samurai, which is an anime that is a mix of 2D animation and CG animation, and I am not a fan of CG animation mostly when it comes to anything. But there are instances where it's nice, and I would say the Elusive Samurai does it expertly, and it's made for a really gorgeous, really interesting visual experience. Again, it is 2D and it is CG, but they mix both, and it's not just action is CG and other stuff is 2D traditional. They mixed it all up the whole time, so it's absolutely gorgeous, and they use the medium of animation to help tell the story, not just because it's animated. So really, really interesting show, very visually appealing. And it's a show that while I liked in the beginning of the season, now I'm like, it's really come into its own. I'm really appreciating it. So it's on Crunchyroll if you want to watch it. The Elusive Samurai, look up a trailer. It's an unbelievably beautiful anime. I wrote about the impending season of Wheel of Fortune, as it will be Ryan Seacrest's debut. September 9th is the first episode with Seacrest, and I talked about him and not being excited for him and him being rather milquetoast and Wheel of Fortune in general and all that. And I'm a big game show freak, so I wrote about that. And people had some interesting thoughts to share. So that was that spurred on more conversation than I thought. I also wrote about the Killer Cuts CD, which some people didn't even know existed. Back in the day when you got Killer Instinct on the Super Nintendo, if you got it, I want to say at launch, it also came with the Killer Cuts CD, an audio CD. I got Killer Instinct for a Christmas present for the Super Nintendo, and it came with the Killer Cuts CD. And while I didn't really care about it at first, when I eventually got around to listening to it, I was like, oh my God, this is really good. it is cheesy. It's very dance-ish of that era. So think about like Venga Boys and Aqua and stuff like that. It fits in with that kind of stuff, but it's Killer Instinct related songs. And I say it stood the test of time. As long as you're down with that kind of cheesy dance, straightforward music, I think it's still pretty darn good. You can listen to the whole thing on YouTube and other places too. But I wrote about that and how that soundtrack has been a part of my life pretty much since I first listened to it. I remember putting the CD in my car on the way to college. It's just kept popping up throughout the years, and just recently YouTube, like a couple weeks ago, was like, hey, would you like to listen to this album? And I was like, oh my god, I haven't heard this in forever, and now I'm listening to it again. I wrote about Visions of Mana, which is the new Mana game that's out on PS5 and PS4, I believe Xbox Series, whatever. And I haven't played it yet, but I desperately want to, and there's a demo available, and it looks so darn good. It's an action RPG, so it looks very akin to Zelda. It'll be more detailed as far as combat goes, but that's what it looks like. And I really want to check it out. It's just I haven't had time, and there's so much stuff to play right now. Not a complaint by any means. Just there's a lot going on. There's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot of stuff that just came out recently. Every week is bringing out some really interesting, fun, exciting games. So Visions of Mana is on my backlog, but I want to get to the demo at least so I can be like, yeah, this is something I definitely want to play. But man, it looks awesome. It looks really gorgeous. And that's the most recent post. I haven't had a time. I haven't gone into look at the comments on that yet, but that's what we're talking about on Patreon. You could join in the fun for $1. Also, we had our latest GoNintendo
For $1.
It's the Thin Candy Shell.
Our latest GoNintendo expansion pack feature. If you don't remember, GoNintendo expansion pack is a weekly Friday feature on GoNintendo where I write about something that might be game related, but not necessarily Nintendo related. Or it could be about anime or TV shows or movies or music or wrestling or comic books or whatever. And this week's expansion pack feature is called Visual Novel Fans, Welcome to the Book Club. And I talk about how within the group of people who call themselves readers, there's a lot of judgmental gatekeeping that goes on for people who are like, oh, I don't read on the Kindle. I read actual books like a paperback. And other people are like, oh, I don't read paperbacks. I only get hardcover. And there's other people who are like, oh, you listen to audiobooks. Those don't count. That's not actually how you read a book. You have to sit down with the book to read it. And then there's other people who are like, oh, you listen at double the speed. That doesn't count. You have to listen at the regular speed. Blah, 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 blah.
And there's other people that are like, I told you I can't read.
And I wrote about how I have not been interested in reading because of school from when I was a kid. I was just like, they assign you books. I thought books were supposed to be fun. They're making me read books like that they choose, and I got to do reports and take tests on them. This sucks. So it ruined reading for me. And then eventually I took on reading traditionally as a New Year's resolution, and I've stuck with it. But I also talked about how one of my other New Year's resolutions was reading getting into the MCU, which led to me reading comic books. And I was excited to talk about that with people who traditionally read, and some of them welcomed it, and other ones were very much gatekeepers and were scoffing at the idea that I would even consider things like comic books or manga.
So are you looking
reading?
at me?
No. So that was very disappointing. And then I eventually got to where I am now with reading traditional books, and I was like,
that is not correct.
That led me to seeing the gatekeeping that goes on with audiobooks and how you read your physical books, whether they're digital or physical, or if you get them from the library or purchase them.
Are you doing audiobooks?
No. I read on my iPhone through
the
Kindle app.
That's not.
But I got.
No, that's not reading.
Yeah, that's how I was going to say. I am not part of any of that group at all, which was why I wrote this article, because it's about visual novels. And I am so sick of gatekeeping and everything, but I am putting the olive branch out there for those who read or play visual novels, whatever you want to call it, because they get the bad from both sides. Gamers some groups of gamers are like, those aren't games. That doesn't count as a video game. And the other side are readers who are like, that doesn't count as reading. That's not a book. And I'm like, man, they're getting it from both sides here. So I extended the olive branch, being like, if you are a visual novel fan, you are a reader. You are very much part of the book club situation. Do not let people make you feel bad about it. You count. You are involved. So that's the whole gist of the piece. It's a very long piece, actually. It's much longer than I expected to write, but it just flowed and I was feeling it. And there have been comments and people have reached out in other ways where they're saying they have experienced that gatekeeping and they're really happy that I put something together like this because it makes them feel not so alienated. And I said, well, that's why I wrote this, because I felt and still feel alienated by some people. There are readers in my life who, again, scoff or laugh at the idea of visual novels being a form of reading. And they just, they just can't even fathom that being something that people do and that people would consider reading. And it's just shocking to me because, yes, while visual novels may have sound or they may have visuals to go along with them, they are first and foremost stories that are told through thousands upon thousands upon thousands of words. It's just a book in another form. That's all that it is. So,
that with comparing it to traditional literature, it's like a build your own adventure kind of, Did you say that?
I did not say that in this piece, but I did think that. And other ones aren't. They're just, the story is told and you don't make choices. You just read through the story.
Well, the choices that you make don't really alter too much all the time. It's just that the chronology or like the way it's told changes a little bit. So
yeah, but I do want to be clear, there are visual novels where you don't make any choices at all, you just read. But then on top of that, it also if there are ones where you do make choices, even if they don't alter things a little bit, it makes you feel like more of a participant in the story, like you are some small way directing how the story goes, which again, there are choose your own adventure traditional books as well. So but yeah, no more gatekeeping. I hate gatekeeping in general. I'm a gatekeeper on gatekeeping. And I want to push back on it hard. And this was an area where I felt that I could. So thank you for the very positive feedback on this. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad it made some people feel so strongly enough that they reached out to me through multiple ways to tell me that they appreciated a piece. So I really like doing these expansion pack features. This one felt like probably the strongest so far. I'm proud of all of them, but I'm really proud of this one and the message, because that kind of stuff is important to me. And I'm sure if you listen to the podcast, you know that about me. So thanks to those who read it. I'm glad the message resonated with people and it seemed to do well on social media too. So thank you. You might remember last week I said this coming week's expansion pack is going to be written by Nintendo. And I said, oh, probably because I'm saying that it won't happen. Well, here we are. She was not around to write the piece she was expecting to. My understanding is this coming week she will be able to write it, and it will be about the Brian Jordan Alvarez TV show, English Teacher. She will be sharing her thoughts on that show. Now, MomBrain and I have both watched the first 2 episodes because that's all available, and I think it's fantastic. Very funny, very topical, very meaningful, very heartfelt, very interesting, very important
mindful
to people now today. Very mindful. Yes.
Did you watch the second episode of Only Murders?
Yes, I did.
There are things about that show I love.
I watched this episode and I was like, I've liked this show every season, but something about this season, I feel like there's only 2 episodes, but I'm like, they're firing on all cylinders with this one.
So they got into like, oh, play a card game. And I was just like, I was watching and I'm like, I can't grasp storytelling or like creative writing or something, because I would never include this as part of a story. Like they get, they get involved in whatever. But everything plays into each other. Like everything plays into something else. And I don't know if it's always been like that, but there's something about this that seems so textbook, where it's just like you're getting pieces of a bigger story and there's a payoff where everything relates. And then over the full arc, you're getting pieces where everything pays off. You're getting like multiple payoffs for every little bit of information that you get, and it works. And that's like creative writing or screenwriting 101, where like every single thing has a purpose, and they're really showing it here.
There are all the seasons have their threads that tie together, but I will completely agree that this season it feels like,
and we're only in
2 episodes, but it feels really tight and really rewarding and really like just it's like they have like by season 4 drilled down into the core elements of what make the show work and how to go about spreading that or telling that story. And it's at that point where it's so good where I'm like, I hope the rest of the season keeps it up, because this is like the best of this show so far. And I've been a fan of the show from just the dynamic of the main characters in general. I also love Richard Kind, so I'm happy he's in the season. I looked up that card game, by the way. I was like, I want to read more about this card game.
Is it real?
Yeah, it's a real card game. I want to give it a go. You just need a standard deck of cards. I need to watch a video to better understand how to play, but it's a real card game. Yes, great season. Love it. So there's all that jazz. We did it all. Let's get into top stories. There really wasn't too much this week outside of the usual, but we'll cover it.
Finally. You're right, George. It is finally.
Finally. Charles Martinet, former voice of Mario, current Mario ambassador, has revealed he'd probably love this soap. He has revealed his favorite Mario games. According to Mr. Martinet, who did a question and answer session at Nintendo Live 2024 Sydney, that is Sydney, Australia. He was asked, what are your favorite Mario games? And he said he likes the more sandbox style Mario games. So his favorites are Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario 3D World, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Odyssey. So he just picked pretty much every 3D Mario game. Sorry, Super Mario Galaxy 2, you were left out. Probably he's including that with Galaxy anyway. Very diplomatic answer. My favorite Mario games are all the ones I've done the voices for. So, it is what it is. I wish they were like, yeah, but if you had to pick one, what one would it be? But they weren't. It's not like he can go wrong with a Mario game.
Do you think he plays them, though? I feel like he probably doesn't.
Great question. He probably plays all of them somewhat. Like he fires them up for a bit. He's getting them from Nintendo, so I'm sure he like puts on. It's like, I want to hear my voice, and does whatever. But is he getting all 120 whatevers? And no, he's probably not. If I was at the event, I would have asked him, but I wasn't.
Hey, anybody who gets the opportunity to ask him, I'm really curious to know. And like, you're never really going to get a real answer, right? He's probably just going to say, of course I do. Oh, thank you so much. Of course, I like it to play in my game.
To you. Autumnal Blake had the chance because they say it was so cool to be here for this. I even got a photo with him. Autumnal Blake, I wish you put the link to the photo. I'd love to see it, but that is awesome. MomBrain and I've met him multiple times. Nicky Hill has met him.
Just the once, I think.
MomBrain met him at a Nintendo event at Nintendo NY and got a picture and got something autographed. And he said great things about teachers and everything. It was a great meeting. He's been nothing but a lovely man.
Thank you so much for teaching my youth.
We also have more updated rumors about the Switch's successor. A lot of that stuff came out this week. A lot of talk from insiders of different levels speculating, discussing when we might hear or see about the Switch successor officially. Obviously, there's nothing official out there, but we're going to lump in all this stuff into one story. Nate the Hate is an industry insider who has a proven track record, so take that as you will. They have doubled down on the claims that the Switch's successor will be backwards compatible. And their new evidence points to, yes, that once again being the case. So if you are very hopeful that the Switch is backward, or the Switch's successor is backwards compatible with the Switch, then it seems like that will be the case. We don't know if that will be through physical methods, as in you put in the game card, or through a Nintendo account or whatever. But backwards compatibility would lead me to believe you can actually take your physical game card and put it in. So there you go. We've also heard speculation from multiple sources that September will be the month where we will see some sort of reveal for the Switch's successor. That's just speculation. We don't know September. For sure. I know. Because they squeezed those two other directs into August. September is traditionally the time for direct, so maybe they will show something this month. I don't know. We also had some analysis of Nintendo spending, and they had a record level of spending on research and development for this past fiscal year.
Also on their landscaping, they spent a lot.
That's where it all went. So research and development goes towards everything that the company does in general, like experiments that don't even see the release or see the light of day, but also goes towards successors of hardware too. So it makes sense for the spend being so high because that's what's going on. And two companies that Nintendo works with also have talked about basically their amusement divisions have been seeing a lot of revenue because they're working with partners that are making big orders and making big deals with them. So obviously we know these companies work with Nintendo. So all the pieces are aligning. We all know something's going on. The big question is, when are we going to see it? According to two industry insiders in particular, we can expect to see something this month, whether that's like, I don't know what it would be, but we'll see something. One insider is claiming, nah, they're not right. That insider is also saying that we will get a Switch OLED bundle this year, which makes perfect sense. Apparently, it will be a Super Mario Brothers Wonder bundle. So it's the game as a code, a white Switch OLED, and a 3-month subscription to Switch Online. That'll be in a bundle. That is apparently confirmed by this insider for Europe. Not official for North America. They can't get confirmation on there being a bundle that includes Super Mario Brothers Wonder, but they do say there will be a Switch OLED bundle for sure. So that, as far as speculation goes, that's definitely going to happen as we lead into the holiday season, whether it's another Mario Kart bundle or they do Wonder here as well. We'll find out. But as far as Switch successor speculation, two people stand by what they said. Say something's coming in September. One person is doubling down on their backwards compatibility rumors, and one person is saying no successor stuff this month, but Switch OLED bundles coming. So you got a little bit of everything in there, and we're at the beginning of the month. We'll see what happens. You know what? I'll tell you what's going to happen. We're going to get Zelda Echoes of Wisdom this month. I can guarantee it. On the 26th, mark it down. First comment, because I updated a story, comes from King Broly. It says, better include Switch 1 carts. They're called game cards, King Broly. You're better than that. Yeah, like I said, if it's backwards compatible, I would imagine that would be the case. You actually put your game card in there. North America, what do we got this week? Let me tell you. So sorry to take you away from
Penny and Flo.
your ad. What are you playing here?
Homescapes. It was recommended to me.
See ads for that all the time. North America, what do we get this week? I'll be happy to tell you. NBA 2K25, Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. We have an excellent review on the site of that. I highly recommend you read it. I didn't write it. Adrenaline Collection Pack. Aero the Acrobat 2. Yes, that is Aero the Acrobat from the Super Nintendo days. Come back to the Switch. Animal Water Pang. Arcade Archives Finalizer Super Transformation. Badminton Time. It's a Switch exclusive. Crossy Road Castle. Crypt Custodian. Heard great things about that game. Metroidvania. Egg Console Hide the MSX version. Elsie. I've been curious about that game. Fitness Boxing featuring Hatsune Miku. Flick Erasers Battle Royale. Gimmick 2. Yes, that is the sequel to Gimmick, the classic NES game, with a soundtrack by David Wise. Gold Digger the Simulator. Hard Time 3. Kiki.
Sorry. Simulation for gold digging?
I would imagine it's actual gold digging and not stealing money. Hard Time 3. Kiki, a vibrant 3D platformer. Lost Balloons, Airy Mates. Maximum Entertainment RPG Bundle. Ninja Girls, Kunoichi Puzzle. Nor, Play With Your Food. Pixel Boy 2, The Castle Revenge. Howard Platformer Bundle. Scotland Yard, Hunting Mr. X. Shashingo, Learn Japanese with Photography. We will have a review of that. Shield King. Shogun Showdown. Sugoi Girls, Sassy Heroine. Sunsoft is back. Retro Game Collection. Yes, that is a Sunsoft for old gamers like myself and Nicky Hill. It's some of their games in one package for the Switch. Super Shaking Girl. The 257th Element. They made a lot of sequels to that movie. The Meeting, that is MEAT, and that is also coming out on the NES physical cartridge. Think or Die collection pack. The Hunter Puzzler DX. What happened? What happened? Through Worlds. Yars Rising, a brand new entry in the Yars franchise made by Way Forward. It's a Metroidvania. They're taking the Yars classic game and turning it into a Metroidvania. Very interested in this. And then finally, Zero Uno Games Collection Pack 1. No comment on this one. Josh, if you could please take us to the land of sweetness.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh. I've got good news. I've got great news. Europe is getting games this week.
Sorry, I'm going to go pee again.
It's okay. It's a list. We got a long list. Europe is getting games this week. Coming to the Switch eShop the week of September the 5th, the year of our Lord 2024. It's quite a list. Let's do this. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. Right off the bat, number 2. I don't know how to read. Adrenaline. Why would I read it like that?
Ramit had so much adrenaline.
It's like the name of a character who like got pumped full of like some special
Bad guy.
thing,
Yeah.
and it's like, watch out for adrenaline collection pack. Dear Lord. Animal Water Pang. Badminton time. I'm going to move on and try to read these properly. Backaroo? Or maybe Bakeroo. I don't know.
Legitimately.
Backaroo.
That's the one made by Goodfield. That is the spiritual successor to Mystical Ninja.
Right. And that's the one that I
Okay.
say looks like he's got a Game Boy camera on his head.
That's right.
But you don't think so. But other people who are fans of the site and share their opinions in the
I
chat,
didn't say you were wrong.
they said that they agreed. Billy's Game Show. Date Z. Dex and Akane?
Mm-hmm. That's
All
how
right,
I'd say.
All right. How would you say that? Adrenaline.
Yeah, I would read it normally.
Ooh, Egg Console. Hydlide. MSX. Hydlide.
I'd lie.
Finger Cuts. Fitness Boxing featuring Hatsune Miku. Flick Erasers Battle Royale. Flip Book. Forests, Field, and Fortresses. Fruit Attack. Hentai Girls, Lovely Lieutenant. Whole IO and Helix Jump. Holy Hunt. Island Survival. Craft, Build, Grow. Paper Ghost Stories, Third Eye Open. There might be a joke in there for Third Eye Blind. I'm not feeling
I
it.
was thinking
Arms Wide Open.
Arms Wide Open. That's what it was, yes.
With Third Eye Open.
There, you could do that too.
All right. Ruthless Carnage Hotline. Hi, is this the Ruthless Carnage
Yes,
Hotline?
I'm Ruth Carnage.
Scotland Yard hunting Mr. X, Mr. Shield King, Super Dark Deception, Super Shaking Girl, Survival Heroes, the 257th Element. Man, they really made a lot of sequels about that one, of that movie.
Well, the fifth one was Love. What's 257?
You don't want to know.
The Back Rooms Survival. Oh, is that like a walking simulator of like walking through liminal spaces?
I mean, I'm sure you're avoiding some sort of monster back there.
The Knight's Path. Think or Die. Think or Die collection pack. Tohu Danmaku Kagura Fantasia Lost.
That is a music-based game, and it has music from Toby Fox, the creator of Undertale and Deltarune.
Tetsegi's Adventure.
Sure.
Tetsegis. I don't know. Ubo Attack. Ubout Attack. U-boat. What are we getting here?
I don't know.
Ubout Day. Ubout.
I would say U-bout.
U-bout. Me bout. U-bout. Uma. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Umamusume. Pretty
Yes.
Derby. Party Dash. V Hunter Puzzler DX.
Vampire. It's for vampire.
Oh, the DX made me think it might be something else.
No.
And Zeruno Games Collection Pack number 1.
Is there a comment there, Nick?
Yeah, there is a comment from Steister. Let's all give a rousing round of applause for the one and only Nicky Hill. Thanks, Nicky Hill. Well, thank you, Steister.
Oh, wow, you got the double applause. Yeah, applause. And I believe that's your top stories for the week, my friends.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. I told you it was a light week, light work. MomBrain, what have you been playing?
Penny and Flow and HomeSense, which I downloaded at the suggestion of, I forget who today. I'm sorry, remind me. I put out a request for some cozy, chill puzzle games for me to play while I listen to lectures.
Hi, Outlaws. That Kirby glass art is amazing. I love me some Waddle Dee.
So here we are. And that's it.
Okay, Nicky Hill, what have you been playing? Thank you, MomBrain.
My pleasure.
No, we played Mousetrap.
Oh,
Crazy contraption.
Oh, that would have been awesome if you did build like a whole thing.
It kind of was. He dropped
MomBrain,
the bucket.
don't move. It's just when the marble goes down the stairs and then the guy backflips into the cup, and
that's when we'll get him. The only thing, I don't even think I played Solitaire, just a little bit of Tetris, and not even for the weekend challenge. I was going for like the second or third week, probably second. I was going to play Detective MEO in the Bag of Truth or whatever, and
somebody write that down. Detective MEO in the Bag of Truth.
And I started when I turned on the Switch, Tetris was there, and it was like, in sleep mode. So I was like, yeah, I'll play a round or two, and I ended up playing for over an hour, and then that was it. So I never got to play Detective MEO.
Oh my God. I could have had my feet up on this chair the whole time. What am I on the table?
The chair is on the far side.
I know.
You want it over here?
No, I can do this. No, I can't.
So that's all I played. How about you, Raw Meat?
Thanks for asking. I played a little bit of Fortnite. I'm not playing as much Fortnite as I want. As I said, there's someone playing that I don't mesh with their play style, so it means I'm not playing as often. It makes me very sad, but I have still been playing with family, and I love it, and it's always fun, so that's good. I played more Bakadu, which I don't want to say slowly, but modestly pacing myself to go through because I'm clearing everything in every level before I go to the next, before I write my review.
I'm going to interrupt for a second.
Sure.
This Oreo Coke, I mean, I'm still enjoying it. This is, you take a little pause, you step away for a second, you take a sip, and you're like, what, am I drinking Oreo Coke here? Well, yes, I am. Go ahead.
Curious to see what the sugar version tastes like.
It's what I was just about to say too.
But it's good. It's good.
I don't think I ever tried the full sugar spiced version, but
I don't remember.
I'm very curious to know what the
Oreo Coke Blood Ocean, yes.
The full Oreo
comes out September 9th, but Nicky Hill managed to find it at a local convenience store. Yeah. And we are enjoying it. Oh, that's good.
I walked in and I said, I know you have it.
So I'm playing Bakadu. Man, it's fun. It's just a good throwback platformer. Level design is really fun. It's such a colorful game. The moves are fun. You do a double I don't remember what the sticks are you hit the drums with. Tom-toms. You can do a double charge up move where you slam the ground, and there's so many enemies to do it to, and they all explode into coins. It's just very satisfying. The level design in some levels is like particularly fun. There's one that was like a festival stage where you like walk through, like it's kind of like an amusement park, but kind of not. And you walk through like the gates in the beginning, and there's a little roller coaster, and then you walk your way up like through these floors of festival lights and like enemies swinging around, and then there's a big top floor where there's like a dance music festival going on. It was a really cool level. I really liked it. The game, it's not mold breaking by any means, but it's a kind of game we don't really see too much of anymore, and I think it's a ton of fun. My only complaint so far is that I wish the special powers that you got were used more often, but I guess that's my fault. There's one that makes you very tiny to sneak through doors, and there's not too many opportunities to do it. There's one that makes you like, it gives you like this big suit of armor that you wear that you basically like you like shote punch everybody. And I really like that. And I've been making a point to use it because it's a lot of fun to use. And then there's a third one that's I don't have the fourth one yet, but the third one is fishing rods that you like throw out to attack enemies with from far away, and that one's fun too. So I'm making a point of like, I'm playing it how I wouldn't normally play a game. So like they give you things to use and I'm using them, and I'm like, oh, this is fun. I just wish there were more opportunities specifically where it's like the game is like, you should be using those things here, but that's my only complaint really. I love it.
Wait, sorry. Situations of like you specifically use that tool for like a puzzle, like a
like it's very clear like you're supposed to be using that thing here, like in Zelda games. But
so like there's like a door that needs to be unlocked or something, and like you would throw out the fishing line and then like reel it in or something to pull something like that, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. But it's not necessary. But it's still fun that the things are there. It's just the one that makes you shrink. There's no benefit other than you shrink, and you need to do that to fit into certain spaces. And I wish there were more of that. But it's a great game. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, I'm making a point. Each level has 3 items to collect and 5 points of information to find. You don't need to do that to get through the stage, but I am, because I enjoy doing that. And as I said a couple of weeks ago, you find these little things and they mostly tell you things about Japan and Japanese things, but there are some other things that are just overall information. And I don't know that there's ever been a time where I had a collectible in a game where I looked forward to getting the collectible. Like in games, I want to get the collectibles because they unlock other things, and I like that. But here, you're just I don't know, maybe getting enough of the things will unlock something at the end of the game. But if that's the case, I don't know right now. But here, I'm like, oh, another little tidbit. I'm excited to read what this is. And it's like, one of them was like, green tea, gargling green tea has medicinal properties for this, that, and the other thing. I was like, I never knew that. So much so that I told MomBrain about it. And I was like, I like these little things. They're just fun little tidbits of trivia to learn. It's interesting. And like I said, most of them teach you about Japan. And there's a lot of stuff I didn't know. So just cool little things. Love the game. Awesome. I know it's not going to sell well. I know it's not going to have a far reach, but boy, am I happy it got localized. And it deserves your love and praise and playtime. If you're a fan of Good Feel's work through Nintendo games and you liked those Nintendo games made by Good Feel, you will get that same Good Feeling from Bakaru. So there's a demo available. Go play the demo. So I played that. I played. Oh, I downloaded MEO, like the full thing, but I haven't started the next chapter yet because I want to do it on the treadmill. And I was behind in what I was watching, but now I am caught up. So tonight, my plan is to play a chapter of MEO, whatever you called it. Detective MEO and the Bag of Truth. So I'll play chapter 4 in Detective MEO and the Bag of Truth tonight. Very much looking forward to it. I said I was going to talk about this earlier in a way that I can't talk about it. I'm going to go read the email again because it's making me so mad. Rugrats Adventures in Gameland is a brand new game coming out on September 10th. It is coming out on Switch and other platforms. It is also coming out on the NES. If you want to get an NES copy, you can do that. The Switch version lets you switch between modes. So you can play NES mode or you can play HD mode. HD mode looks like the cartoon. It is all hand-drawn characters, just as they were in the TV show, hand-drawn backgrounds, much like they were in the TV show. Or, again, you can play NES version, which looks like an NES game. Or you can just get it on the NES, which only has the NES version. Obviously, it doesn't have the HD version. Let me read this to you out loud. Embargo details. Please refrain from posting any type of coverage, written, live stream, gameplay video, or social media posts until Monday, September 9th at a time. I won't say the time. Please refrain from written, live stream. Technically, this is a live stream, gameplay video, or social media. So the way I read it is, I can't tell you about it. Is this silly? I think it's silly, but I agree to the embargo, and it's their rules, and I don't have to like them. I just have to follow them. The only reason I will say it's silly, twofold. The game comes out, threefold. The game comes out in a couple days. I don't think a ton of people are going to go crazy for this game, especially when it comes to spoilers. And the third reason is I really want to talk about it. Like, I really want to talk about it. Why? I'll say in a good way I really want to talk about it, but I can't elaborate. And I'm very disappointed.
Can I just ask a question?
This week you'll read my review. Next week I'll talk about it on the podcast.
You don't think a lot of people are going to go crazy about it. Do you think they should? Or can you not say?
I don't think they should go crazy about it. I mean, like, to have, what I'm saying is to have such a restrictive embargo for a game like Rugrats, it's like, this isn't going to be a million seller. I'm not saying I don't
argue it would hurt them.
I'm not saying I don't want it to be. I'm just saying it's not going to be a million seller. Yeah, like, let me talk about the game.
Yeah.
But I'm not complaining, as in, like, I'm not one to be like, I signed the embargo, I'm going to do what I want. I'm not going to do what I want, but I feel I can still, like, share my dismay with the embargo because I'm eager to talk about the game. Like, the game comes out in 2 days. I want to talk to you guys about it before it comes out, and my voice lets me impart passion more than a written thing does. I can still show my passion through a written piece, and you will have that. Oh, God. So many things I can't talk about.
Can I ask?
There's other things that I'm writing about that have an embargo that are going up against that embargo. So I'm sorry, but Rugrats has to take the back seat.
I'm sorry if you already explained this, because I'm sure you're aware I wasn't paying attention for a minute. But
what are Rugrats?
Does this have anything to do with the animal that was in your office?
What are you talking about? Now I'm confused.
Oh, it was a couch mouse. Couch mouse Rugrat? No?
Oh.
Anyway, what style of game? Can you talk about this? Is it like a 2D?
That's the other thing. There was like a demo that's out that I played that I can talk about. It's months ago. So I could talk about basically the game, but I can't share.
You could talk about the
demo.
demo.
Only share demo impressions.
Uh-huh.
It's a 2D platformer, but it is not a straightforward 2D platformer where it's just like go through the level and fight the boss. Each level has 3 or 4 Reptar coins, and you have to find, or you don't have to find them, but you should find them. And each level also has a screwdriver that you use to break open the lock at the end of the level to fight the boss, which is seen in the demo. So levels are a little bit open-ended. Like, you'll have multiple paths to go. You eventually have to take them all. But when you'll go into like the demo level, which is a tree, and you can go like climb a vine that's outside the tree, or you can go inside the tree and climb up through the tree, and there's things to find throughout all of it, and then you fight a boss at the end. So it's not as straightforward as just going a level linear through and you're out. And in the demo, I really liked that. Oh, by the way, HD, they call it HD audio. So like there's an 8-bit soundtrack as you hear it on the NES, and then there's an enhanced soundtrack as you hear it in the HD version of the game too. And you can't flip through them on the fly.
Wait, is this a remake?
No, it's a brand new game.
Brand new game. Okay.
You can't flip through them on the fly. You have to go to the pause menu and switch that way. So there's no like hit a shoulder button in HD audio, 8-bit audio.
What's a shoulder button?
It's not it's not as graceful as I would like, but it's one more button. It's not a big deal. But
and it's only if you want to change the soundtrack.
and the visuals.
Right.
And you can mix and match. So you can have old school
Oh,
visuals
so,
with
yeah.
new audio, or
I think-
new HD visuals with old school audio.
I mean, the only game that I played that was like that was, I think, Wonder Boy.
There
and
are multiple
could
games
play
where
it,
you can just hit a button and
would
it does it.
It would
Yeah.
swipe.
Yeah. It's not like it takes a long time or anything. Like it's instant, but they took I believe, see, it doesn't make much sense to me because I don't know why you would do it like that, because on the NES, you're not swapping to HD anything because you can't.
Mhm.
So like on the Switch, why wouldn't you just have a shoulder button be dedicated to swapping between those things? It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's a nitpick, but that's the case. So I'll talk more about
But how
Rugrats.
often are you switching? I feel like you'd switch it to leave it that way, right? So they have it set
Well,
up as like an option in the menu, not as
if I was someone who were playing the game and I was like, I prefer 8-bit visuals and audio, but I am curious what this would sound like in HD audio and look like in HD, then I would switch between multiple times in a level to be like, let's see how different this looks. Because I'm nosy. So that's what I would do if I played the game. This is so dumb.
Okay.
But I'll tell you more in my review this week.
But
and
there's
I will
no
talk about it
actual
on next week's
benefit to
podcast.
switching back. It's not like that's a game feature where like you have to.
I mean,
switch
it is
back
a
and
game
forth.
feature, but you
Well,
don't.
no, but like
you don't get anything
it's not an
for
element
it. No,
that makes it essential.
but I think
and
it's
essential.
fun to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
And I would imagine there's very big differences. But again, like the HD version does look exactly like the cartoon. They are drawn to spec for the cartoon, just obviously HD,
Listen,
which Rugrats wasn't.
maybe you can't say this, but
After the podcast, I can say whatever I want.
maybe I'm just going to ask it. You
Mhm.
you don't have to answer.
Mm-hmm.
But is it better than the Ren and Stimpy games from the Game Boy and stuff like that?
As far as the demo goes, I will say it's much better.
Mhm.
I would say the demo level was indicative of a game that was very high quality. And if it were made back in the day, it would be fondly remembered today as one of the great licensed games of the NES. That's what I would say based on the demo level.
Okay.
Just the demo level.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk to you more afterwards. And then last night I downloaded Astrobot because, as Du and I have said many times, we don't often use our PS5s to play anything exclusive because we don't feel there's all that much exclusive there. I am a huge fan of platformers. I'm a Nintendo fan, so of course I like platformers. I literally just got finished talking about a platformer. I loved Astrobot. I played everything Astrobot there's been. The VR game, the game that's installed on your PS5. So a brand new Astrobot game with 80 plus levels, however many it is. Yes, day one, I'm there to support something like that. I know this game's not going to sell well. I know it's not going to sell anywhere near what it needs to sell to like make a dent. I would love to be wrong. We don't know. The game just came out, so I don't know what sales are going to be. I would say, if the game reaches 5 million in sales, I would be shocked. I think the ceiling for a game like this is going to be, if I'm being really generous, 3 million. I think that's really generous.
And
I hope I'm wrong.
Is that game meta, or is it just like tied into pop culture? Like, I don't know nothing about Astrobot,
Let
but
me tell you.
they just did
it's
they
the
announce
same-
this recently, or
They
they just
announced it
showed it off?
recently, yeah,
Okay.
because it's not Nintendo announces things very quickly and then they come out because that works for Nintendo and their fans operate a certain way. Sony does not operate that way. So when they announce a game and it comes out shortly after, it's because they know it's not like a big title for them. But there are certain people who are all about it. Reviews for this game have been stellar. It is the highest reviewed game of the entire year.
But this is a game that is exclusive to PlayStation. It is a Sony game.
Exclusive to PS5. Yes, it will never be on anything else other than a Sony system down the line, maybe.
And
Sony, the brand Sony is,
and they just don't
intricate to the
they
game.
don't expect that it's going to.
It's a 3D platformer on a system where people do not play those games. That's not what those people buy.
Well, it's
But
a good
again,
thing they spent the money to make it.
I want to
for them,
stress it. Astrobot is the best game reviewed of 2024 so far. Highest reviewed
right? Out
game.
of all systems,
Out of everything. I think
all
it's got
countries, all systems.
everything, every system, every game, every company for 2024.
Wow.
I want to say it's a 94 last I looked. So I've played I mean, Astrobot on VR was fantastic. The thing built into the PS5 was fantastic. Astrobot so far, of the 4 plus or 5 levels I've played, is stellar. It's made by people who understand what makes 3D platformers fun. It's inventive, it's whimsical, it's a joy to control. It's just exciting to see what's around every corner. It's not a fully 3D open world platformer. It's like it's more like Galaxy. So you get dropped down, and each planet is its own thing, and you don't go into it multiple times. You go into a stage, it's got 7 little characters to collect and maybe 3 puzzle pieces, but it's a linear path mostly through these worlds, but they're 3D environments, but they're not like open world 3D. It is fantastic. Just like the experience that's built into the PS5, the features of the PS5 controller are used extensively. You feel everything. You feel grass when you walk through it. You feel metal platforms beneath you. You feel water when it rushes around you. The developers, they are very much using everything the PS5 controller can do. There's motion controlled things. There's everything about it you use, and it feels so good. The feeling of walking on a metal platform is unbelievable. It's one of the coolest sensations I've ever felt in a game. You feel the grass when you're walking by and you're like, oh yeah, that's really cool. It's nice. But there's something about the combination of the sound effect for walking on a metal platform mixed with whatever they got going on in a controller. You're like, wow, that feels spot on. It just feels awesome. But the levels are so inventive. It's exactly what you want from the 3D platformer. It feels great. It's just fun. It makes you smile. Little things to collect all over the place. Little animations and characters. It's like it's Sony's best attempt at doing what Nintendo does, and it's at least as good as what Nintendo does. I would say Nintendo overall, like a Mario platformer, has bells and whistles that make it better. And there's a thing that I think makes Astrobot games worse. Not negligible. One is a big gripe for me, but it's a me thing. But yeah, it's a stellar experience so far, and I have no reason to believe that it's going to fall apart as the game goes on. It's just expertly made. It's a 3D platformer that's wonderful. It's just so much fun,
and it's got no real reason for anybody to what is the rating bombing? What do they call it?
Review bomb.
Review bomb it.
Not
Right?
that I know of, other than it being a 3D platformer.
I feel like
Sony fans
that
not
might
being into it.
contribute to why it's the highest rated game of the year, because like so many other
Highest
games.
rated by critics. I don't know what their user
Oh,
review
okay.
is.
Here's a question: do you think Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom is going to bump it from that
Echoes of
position?
Wisdom will be up there, but if I had to guess, I'd say Echoes of Wisdom will get like a 90, 91. I can't see it getting like a 96 or a 97, not like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. It'll be, there's a chance, but I think Astrobot will be above it. Rightfully so or not, that's for you to decide.
I don't even know what else came out this year. We're in September. We are in September.
A lot of stuff came out this year.
I feel like it's still February, except it's warmer.
So you ask, is it pop culture related? It is not pop culture related, but it is very Sony related. It's like your spaceship in the game is a PS5,
right?
And there are little PlayStation related things everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And each level has like hidden Astrobots in it, and some of them are dressed as PlayStation characters. Like there's the Bloodborne guy, and or I should say characters PlayStation fans are familiar with. So there's like one of them looks like Solid Snake. He's not a PlayStation character, but obviously the franchise has a history with PlayStation, or had one. There's Ratchet and Clank characters. They look like Astrobot, but it's So if you are very much
Crash Bandicoot
is in there. So they had to talk to Microsoft about that one. But I just saw Crash Bandicoot last night. There was a whole bunch of crates that had what looked like fruit in them, and I was like, I bet Crash Bandicoot's here. And you break one of them, and Crash was there. So yes, and it doesn't say the character's name outright for any of them. It gives like a playful name on them and like a little text blurb that's like, oh, that's a little cheeky joke. So, I personally think Astrobot, the whole franchise, is done a disservice because of those things. Because seeing like, you fly in on a PlayStation 5 controller and your spaceship is a PS5 controller and here's all these characters that look like PlayStation characters, and I'm like, I don't like it.
It makes
And
the
people
whole
would say
experience.
if Nintendo did it, you'd like it. I would not like it. I don't even like when Nintendo's like in Breath of the Wild, it's like, here's a tablet and it looks like, I'm
I
like,
hate that.
"Mm."
Like Trace Memory.
Yeah.
You had the DS, and you're like, come on. Like I liked that.
It's like,
it played
okay,
into
it's
it.
nice, I get it, but I'd rather it wasn't there. So Astrobot is like that, but overload.
That always bugged me.
I'm like, man, this game is so whimsical and inventive that it would be even more so if we didn't have to have all these. Remember these PlayStation things? And if anything, I don't know how deeply people look into it, it's even more disappointing because you're like, look at all these great characters from games that Sony does not do anymore. So you're like, oh yeah, I remember Parappa, I remember Jumping Flash, I remember Crash Bandicoot. Now Crash is not even related to PlayStation anymore. We haven't had Jumping Flash in years. Parappa 2 was the last Parappa game we got. Like, you look back and you're like, man, look at how strong early years of PlayStation were, and now look at where we are. Like, you got God of War and you got Bloodborne, I guess. Yeah, I mean, you can throw Uncharted in there, but we haven't seen. Oh, just last night I found a Jack and Daxter character. I'm like, oh, that's great, boy. I wish we had a new one of those. It's like a graveyard of PlayStation characters, where you're like, we get 10% of these characters and 90% you haven't seen anymore, or now they're multi-platform. And I'm like, do you really want to remind people what they used to get? I'm sure Sackboy's in there somewhere. Do you really want to remind them of how much they used to get through PlayStation and now they don't get that? I can't be the only one that feels this way. There has to be somebody else saying this in the review. But I wouldn't, if I was reviewing the game, I would never knock it for that. Like, I wouldn't, that's not a detractor as far as how the game plays and the experience. That is something I could tell you I don't like, but I wouldn't be like, the game's bad because there's too much dead PlayStation stuff in there. I can remove myself thematically from that thematical element because I know it's not right to review the game based on that merits or that merit. It's just something that irks me. So I would imagine.
Well, it takes the focus away from the game. It's like people are only going to play it for these inside jokes.
When I see that stuff, I think about, boy, this would be so much better if they didn't have to have this stuff there, because then they would have thought of something on their own that they would put in. So, but outside of that gripe, that's a personal gripe. Loving the game. Feels just like I feel when I play a Nintendo game, where I'm like, I put it down and I'm only putting it down because I got to go to bed. And I'm like, I can't wait to get back in there. Like last night, I unlocked a new level and I'm like, oh, I'm really excited to see what's in that level. It's the best facsimile of a Nintendo game you're going to get. And that's meant as the highest form of praise from me as far as Nintendo games go. When it comes to platformers, that's what I'm talking about. If you like a Nintendo platformer, I don't see why you wouldn't like this. It's great so far.
What came out on like Nintendo stuff this year? We've had plenty.
You're asking me questions that take a lot of research. I don't remember what happened yesterday.
Yeah, don't worry about it then.
Switch games 2024. I mean, it's a Nintendo podcast. Let's take a look. You know what came up?
No.
Echoes of Wisdom. Not yet.
Oh, I'm just trying to think.
Are you talking just in general or first party?
I guess first party.
Okay. First party.
I mean, there's been a lot of games in general.
Games 2024. Princess Peach Showtime, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, Mario versus Donkey Kong. A lot of these are not this year. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door.
I mean, those wouldn't. I guess that. Yeah, Paper Mario wouldn't get a great rating. Oh, did Super Mario RPG come out this year?
Super Mario RPG. This was in May.
There have been a lot of remakes and remasters, I guess.
Splatoon 3 Side Order, Another Code, Recollection, Endless Ocean Luminous.
All right. You know, I'm just trying to see, like, and like in general, any blockbuster games that came out that would bump it from that.
Echoes of Wisdom is coming. Mario and Luigi, the new Mario and Luigi RPG is coming out.
Right.
That I don't think it'll be that high, but it'll be very well reviewed.
Mhm.
Super Mario Party Art a Jamboree,
And
which I
like
can't say anything about.
Hogwarts Legacy was last year. That kind of
Was that early this year on Switch?
it came out
Came
on
out last
Switch
year
this year,
on-
but it came
yeah.
out last year on other systems. I'm just trying to think of like what other things could be higher rated.
Still really selling well though.
And there's a lot of things that come out for Microsoft or PlayStation that I don't know. What's that other one? People are actually liking it despite all of the controversy, right?
Sorry, Radical Defects. I see this. I should have come in here sooner. MEO came out. Yes. Detective. What'd you just say? I'm sorry.
The game that's getting a lot of controversy because of the company, right? That game is do people really like it though?
I really apologize. What game?
I don't know.
I was reading
the
chat.
the
I'm
game
focused.
The game that's based on the Monkey King, right?
Yes. Wukong, whatever we said. Yeah. We talked about it last week.
So that is doing well for them.
That's doing crazy well.
Yeah.
The last update I saw was 18 million copies sold,
Oh.
and it's been 2 weeks.
Wow.
I mean, it's very Chinese centric, and there's a huge market in China for people who are looking for that kind of stuff. I don't know how much is sold here, but 18 million plus in 2 weeks for a brand new IP. That's staggering. That's incredible.
Can you call it a brand new IP? It's based on a legend that like we all know.
It is a brand new IP. It's not a game that exists anywhere else.
Right.
It's a brand new IP for that company. And yeah, like I said, I really want to play it, but I have my issues with the company, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't felt right getting it yet, but we'll see what happens.
But that's still not rated as high as Astrobot.
There's nothing rated as high as Astrobot.
Yeah.
Nothing like it.
Also, we were talking about Concord, and thank you. There was some good discussion last week after the podcast from you guys about Concord and the negativity that the developers have been getting and the backlash and the craziness that they were being attacked with. And I saw some people were bringing up or were questioning if there were if the developers were getting any kind of negativity or pushback or how strong it was. And I saw other people were out there saying like, no, there's stuff going on. Here's examples of what's been happening. And lots of, they were getting raked over the coals in more ways than one. But that's very funny, Tentavision. That's very
Somebody
funny.
fix that toilet.
But Concord, 11 days after it came out, Concord is removed from sale, done. Sony cut the cord, and the developers said like, we're going to try and look at ways to reconfigure this game, and maybe it will return in the future. But we said last week it was a disaster as far as the pushback from players and consumers went. And we heard it wasn't selling well, and we heard there were issues for the company, and now we know it's true. The game, man, 11 days. They spent 8 years working on that game, and 11 days after it's out, they have pulled the plug, and it may never return. It could, but it may never return. Ted Division says, can we talk about that? They shut it down after 2 weeks. I feel so bad for the developers. Yeah, spent 8 years working on that game to be shut down in 11 days. Gamers pushed back really hard on that, saying they did not like what it was and they did not want to spend their money on it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with someone saying this isn't for me or I'm uninterested and I don't want to buy it. That is your right, 100%. I agree with you there. I do not agree again with the mistreatment of the developers or the harassment online of the developers, or even just the in general dead game and all that stuff. I think that's gross. I think that's rude, mean. I think that's horrible. People saying dead game and L game and all that stuff, I really don't like that. But fine, whatever, be like that. The people who were attacking the developers and specific developers in general, no, hardline no on that one. I am against that. If you want to be a piece of garbage and go like shoot your hot takes at the development team and, you know, get internet points for being snarky, not my cup of tea. I'm going to look down on you, but go ahead and do it. You're fine. But threatening people and searching at their personal information and sending death threats and all that stuff. No, like you're getting major pushback from me on that one. So crazy stuff happening with those developers. I feel terribly for those developers. Management at Sony and the developer misjudged what gamers were looking for, and it may have been a different case 8 years ago, and the game took a while, so it is what it is. I hope that those developers, well, honestly, I hope they've updated their resumes, because I'm guessing they're going to be out of a job soon, but I hope that's not the case. I hope the game gets rejiggered in some way and comes back out and whatever. I hope there's a path to success for them. Honestly, I've heard some and seen some content from creators that I thought I enjoyed, and I've been really disheartened with their path that they've taken with this to basically, do what a lot of people are doing and dogpile on the game and the developers and using them to like hit them with zingers and, get, like I said, internet points. And I'm like, it's very disappointing. I'm not going to name creators in particular, but there's one very much in particular who I really enjoyed, and I watched a video they did about the game recently. I was like, oh, this is really upsetting to see them going this route. They weren't horrible, but they were going in on it more than I thought they would, and I was like, I don't like that. So call me too sensitive. Call me the boy who doesn't want the mouse to run across his feet, but that's who I am. So there you go. That's that. We got questions.
I need to know if we're doing music this week.
We have to.
Did you already do it?
I didn't. That's why I'm asking.
Then don't do it. You're okay. Dude's not here. It's okay. Take it easy. Do your gardenscapes. It's okay.
No, I mean, I'm happy to.
Hey.
Okay.
You're like 1,000,000 degrees. What's going on over here?
Welcome to my life.
Oh, a lady. Enjoy your gardenscapes. I'll take all the heat for it. We'll do it next week. It's okay.
I'm happy to do it.
I am saying this out loud.
Makes her hot.
Saying this out loud. It is not MomBrain's fault that we are not doing music. I am taking the heat for it.
Whatever works, man.
MomBrain said she would do it. I am saying we will not do it this week. It's okay.
No.
Dew is not here. We'll hold off for when Dew's here. Also, we could use more regular questions in the questions email. Also, we have a great backlog of music. We really do, but we could always use more. So if you enjoy the questions section and the music section of the podcast, send all of that to GoNinPod@gmail.com.
Where?
GoNinPod@gmail.com. Send it all there. I promise you next week, MomBrain, I'm letting you know this now, we will do more music than usual. Let's do 15 songs next week. Are you okay with that?
I don't think I'm going to be here next week. Sorry.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I already committed to next week. I can't do 2 weeks.
It's okay.
So.
I'm not saying.
15 songs next week. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys... trying to think of what to say here. If you guys really amp up the questions and the music, I have a number in my mind. If we reach this number, I promise I will be honest about it. I'll even whisper it to MomBrain later. If we reach that number, I'll give you something special. We'll do something special. That's all I'll say. But let's get to this week's questions. We have a question from Jovial Jeffer.
Ooh.
Did you guys ever have King Vitamin cereal? It was basically just a healthier version of Captain Crunch, which is weird because it was also owned by Quaker. It had the strangest mascot of all, just a weird actual human king guy. I think you could kick his trash because he's just an infirm old human man. The back of the box has always had one of the 4 weird royal masks you could cut out. I've never heard of this cereal.
Me either.
Quaker?
They said Quaker. Yeah, so they must be remembering an older box because they said it had a actual human king as the mascot.
Well, I mean, he's a human king. He's a cartoon.
Come on. Yeah, that you just said that. It's a cartoon. What did I say the name of the cereal was?
King Vitamin?
Oh, there you go. Oh my God. Is that? No.
King Vitamin cereal.
Oh, man.
Oh, I don't like it.
Ooh, sorry. Reminds me of like the that one actor, like is it the 8 is enough actor?
I know who you're talking about. A corn and oat multivitamin and iron supplement
Oh, look
cereal.
at those shapes. You know what? That looks like the inspiration for Crustios. With like the razor.
Oh, I sent it I didn't even look at Ice Dilbert. You and I did the same picture. I'm so sorry. Ice Dilbert was on top of it.
That the crusty, like one box has like a metal Crustio or whatever, and it looks like a razor blade or whatever. That's what those
Division,
look
I
like.
do not hate you. I hate none of you here. I don't really hate anyone, to tell you the truth. King Vitamin. Never saw it. This is the kind of cereal cover that if I was a young child, I would have been scared of. But I do want to try it.
It's not vitamin. It's vitamin. Right?
Oh, yeah. King Vitaman.
Vitamin.
He's the Vitaman.
I'm sorry.
I love that his
You are right. You are right. Just double checking. Yes, it's King Vitaman. It's not vitamin. It's Vitaman. They're trying to do something there. It worked on me.
He's got like a picnic tablecloth wrapped around his neck, like a thick collar. It's not really an ascot, but
Tony De La Mancha says, tear down the oh my God, Vitamonarchy.
Yeah.
That is great. Never heard it, never seen it. King Vitaman.
But bring back that
cereal.
shape. I'm down with the shape.
I want to see if it still exists.
It does. That's what I showed you.
But everywhere that says it still exists also shows it as out of stock, which sometimes means it's discontinued. King Vitaman cereal was discontinued in 2019. There you go.
Just missed it.
Just barely missed it.
Well, you can get it off of eBay.
Yep.
Bow.
I'm sure it'll be expired.
Somebody somewhere just
look
ate
at
an
this
expired
one.
box of cereal and had to go to the hospital.
I'll try to. How do I save this?
Have you guys been getting the TikToks that are like legendary grandparent fridge pulls?
Yes, I get
They're
them
so
all the
good.
time. And you know who else I've been getting?
No.
Who?
Yap Dollar.
Oh, that's
on.
right.
What does he say?
I don't remember.
King. All right, Sheng Zhao Huang Shu or something like that.
Mhm.
I'm going to find Yap Dollar.
Look at this one.
For $1.
For a Yap Dollar.
I guess it's the same guy, just a different angle.
Look at how delicately he
man.
holds the spoon.
And you can get it's like a really tiny spoon.
And you can get a Royal Racing
A
Coach
Royal
inside.
Racing Coach. Look at his crown. Look at his crown. It's all spoons.
That's really nice. That's a Halloween costume.
Oh, you don't really see it in the other one because it's covered by the Vitaman logo. Wow. Yes. You can do that. That's
Xiao Hong Shu. Look up Yap Dollar on TikTok and get ready to go down a rabbit hole you're either going to hate or you're going to love. I love it. Xiao Hong Shu.
I want to see King Vitaman cosplay. Let's come on.
Halloween's right around the corner, my friend. You're a big
know.
Halloween guy.
If
Are you a
Big
big
Halloweener.
Vitaman guy? By the way, Matthew Lesko, the old money guy, the crazy guy with the question mark suits. As I've said before, he is on TikTok, but he did like one of my comments because I was so happy to see him. Thank you for the question, Jovial Jeffer. You led us down an interesting rabbit hole. It's about food, which we love on this podcast. It's about cereal, which we doubly love on this. And now we learned about a new cereal we've never heard of.
And it's about kings, which we want to abolish them all.
Raw Meat King Boy. We also have a Patreon question. MomBrain, did you know that you could join the Patreon?
For $1.
For $1.
For $1.
For $1.
For $1.
Where?
For Yap
For
Dollar.
$1.
Xiao Hong Shu. KnockOnWood says, let's say next Mario Kart is a celebration of Nintendo called Mario Kart and Company. What characters and courses from across Nintendo do you want to see? Well, I guess that makes everybody open to it. And as I've said before, I don't want that. I wouldn't be mad about it, but personally, I'd be like, we've
So
muddied the
Mario
waters a little
Kart,
bit.
but as open as Smash Brothers? Because I mean, we already have
It's
Link.
a celebration
and
of
Zelda,
Nintendo,
right?
yes. Link is in there, and there is a Hyrule Castle course. Animal
Right.
Crossing is in there, and there's an Animal Crossing course. F-Zero is in there.
Samus is not.
No Samus.
let Samus race in her pod. Her,
Now, there's two ways of looking at it. It's Nintendo
What
and
the hell
company,
is it
so I'm
called?
just like everybody. I could just be like, just put everybody in. I don't care. Who do I want based on who I think would fit well? Throw Kirby in there. You could ride his little star thing, just like Kirby Air Ride.
Well, Kirby's got their own racing game, right?
Well, he had Kirby Air Ride, but that was one and done. Like Fire Emblem characters don't make sense to me. Like I'm trying to think of what I actually like legit would want in there. I love everything Star Fox, so put Fox and the gang in there, little R wings in there. Oh, I would love that. No, you wouldn't even need that. You could have the tank, the whatever it's called, the R tank. I don't know what it was called. I love Star Fox so much. I wish more people liked it. You know, Miyamoto likes it, but
Didn't somebody say? Did we talk about that last week? Somebody said that they expect that there's going to be more Star Fox.
the artist who drew the original characters for Star Fox said between F-Zero and Star Fox, he would imagine Miyamoto would do another Star Fox. He doesn't think we've seen the last of it because he said Star Fox is very near and dear to Miyamoto's heart, which I think is very obvious based on the things you've seen him say and the things he's done, like the puppets and the special animated features and the two Wii U games. Like it's clear Miyamoto, A, really loves Star Fox, and B, also recognizes that it's not a big seller, and I'm sure that hurts him. So, you know, maybe with the Switch's successor, since we haven't seen anything Switch Star Fox related, they could be like, now let's really do something.
If they ever have a another virtual reality game for like a Nintendo system, like a virtual reality system or add-on, whatever, I think at that point you might see a Star Fox game.
I don't see why not. I'll take it.
Also, they could already do a Star Fox thing, just like the Mario Kart thing with like a drone. Why not?
Knowing Nintendo, they would never do that because they'd be too afraid of people getting hurt by crashing into stuff. How about you throw some Pilot Wing characters in Mario Kart? I'd like to see Nestor return, and I like all that weird Pilot Wings lore, so I'm all about that. Yeah, I'm not really one that's like put those characters in Mario Kart. I'm more put Tingle anywhere. I'll take Tingle anywhere you want him. Put him in a Metroid game. Put him in a Fire Emblem game. I don't care. Piper the Hero. I'll take her. I'll take Tingle anywhere. Anywhere. More Tingle.
Or whatchamacallit, right?
Give me Groose. Put Groose in there.
Any one of those like the other creatures, whatever, from any one of the lands from so what the hell are they called? What are the rock people called?
Gorons. Creatures. It sounds racist.
Well,
it's racist.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Any of the other races that exist in Hyrule, but like I didn't want to.
The Zora, the
Zora.
Gorons,
that's the one I'm thinking of.
The winged people.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I can't think of anything. So
why can't I think of them?
I don't know.
That's terrible. I run a Nintendo site.
Did you see that there was a TikTok, but it's an old video, I think, of like the little kid running around?
You're right, Tony De La Mancha.
A little boy running, and he says, "I'm Zelda," and the mom goes, "Yeah, you mean the boy Link?" And he goes, or no, he's like, Zelda's the girl, and he goes, "Yeah."
Radical Defect, thank you. The Landmaster is the name of the tank from Star Fox, not the R tank. Pikmin, yeah, put Olimar in there. That's great, 10th Division. I agree with that. And as Tony De La Mancha said, legendary Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are motorcycles, so put them in there.
You play as Olimar, but the items you get are Pikmin, and you throw them out at characters.
Sure, that's great too. Yeah, they like
they're an object,
tear apart your cart.
Yeah,
they knock stuff off or just slow you down because they're beating you up.
How about Banjo-Kazooie then?
Well,
they know all about driving.
That's not Nintendo. They do know all about driving because they drove that franchise into the ground. Drove it to an early grave. Carts that made of Pikmin. Sure, why not? So there you go. That's our choices for that. And that's it. I'm so sorry.
Spiders and flies. Take the week off. Do Michaels, we speak your
The
name.
Rito.
Spiders and flies, we speak your name.
The Rito are the flying race in Zelda.
Yes.
The Rito. Like Burrito.
That's right.
Ooh, who's hungry?
I am.
Always. Always. We had, I guess it's after show kind of stuff. I'll save it for 2 seconds from now. I'm sorry we don't have a real spiders and flies for you. No rumor this week. We speak your name.
I mean, it's not really a rumor. It's not a trumor, but I think after this podcast, we can probably look forward to a King Vitamin game or tie-in somewhere. down the
Yeah,
line.
where we just had a question a couple weeks ago about which cereal mascot do you think you could take? I think King Vitaman could take them all.
Yeah.
Because he's real.
Yeah.
Take him out.
I mean, you don't go up
I
against.
play that game.
you
Burger
don't
King's
go
got
up
a game.
against-
Why can't King Vitaman?
I'm looking at it right there. Big Bumpin' is one of them. They had 3 games.
Sneak King,
Wait, is Big Bumpin'?
Big Bumpin', and I don't remember the other one.
Sneak King.
That's what I said.
I only remember Big Bumpin' because I'm looking at.
I
it.
have all 3.
Wasn't there a motorcycle one?
I think that's Big
You are-
Bumpin'.
Mm.
Let's.
Like a pocket bike?
We're not going to leave you guys hanging. We're going to look this
Well,
up.
what was Big Bumpin'? MomBrain, can you grab that right now? Sorry, it's like right behind you. The Big Bumpin' game. It's right under Knights, right there, on top of Pinry. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, bring them all. Play it safe.
Pocket Bike Racer, MomBrain.
Oh.
Big Bumpin', which is like carts, and then Sneak King.
So, Pocket Bike Racer
Pocket Bike Racer.
was different than Big Bumpin'. Look at that.
I know, right? MomBrain just pulled out, as the internet would say, a mythic pull. The Netflix Wii disc is sitting on this shelf over here.
Oh, it's in here too.
Of course, it's the king. Everything should be where it is because I went through all those games.
Nothing
You-
terrible. Nothing terrible, everyone. Everything's fine.
Big
Hey, that's the
bumpin'.
Metroid Prime Hunters. All right, everybody, that's what we got. I'm sorry
right.
the end of the show is so lackluster because of no do, but that's how everything is without do. It just doesn't end as well. But that's all we got. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will be back next week without Nicky Hill, I guess, but with do. And that's it. Goodbye, everybody.
Everybody, have a great
Bye,
week.
friends.
Be safe.
MomBrain and I had, as I said, we go to Costco. We like Costco a lot. Because of my diet, I have not had Costco pizza in a very long time. This time we went and I planned for Costco pizza. We got
That means you didn't eat anything for 2 days. Kidding.
a slice of, here you go. Let's play, it's after show. Why not? Discord, feel free to play along as well. Do not cheat. You would never cheat, but
Excuse me.
that's a great idea, Radical Defect. How many calories are in one slice of Costco pizza? Again, Discord, if you want to
I
guess.
want to
go
say
right
like
ahead.
270.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know. I'll give the Discord a chance to guess. I don't know if you're going to guess. 500 says Radical Defect. We're just talking about a cheese slice. So you said 250.
270.
350. You said 270?
Yeah.
Okay. Radical Defect says 500. Malakayla says 350. J-Bug says 625. We always play Price is Right rules here. Guessing is closed. And the winner is J-Bug. Because Price is Right rules
For one
are the
slice?
closest, but you got to be under. They are under. One slice of Costco pizza is 710 calories.
That
It-
can't. Like, what makes it that high?
It is a very big slice of pizza for one. It's don't look at me like that, MomBrain. Back me up here.
I
A
know,
slice of
but
Costco pizza is very big,
Yes,
like-
I get it.
like that big. It probably would
It's
be
not like
2 slices of
Wildwood
normal pizza.
Boardwalk big, but it's
Yeah.
big. And it's like thick. It's like, you know.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I think it's the dough. It's like a doughy, right?
Yeah.
Red Souza, I feel you on that, my friend.
Oh, cheese.
So yes, a slice of cheese is 710, and I eat 1,300 a day, so it's a lot of it, but it was worth it. A pepperoni slice is less because there's less cheese. Pepperoni slice is like 670, 625, something like that. But I'm not eating meat. So anyway,
So I was guessing like a standard, like a regular
you're right
size
for a
pizza
standard
is like
slice of
close.
pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about that.
Which
MomBrain
I
and
always, I even that is high.
MomBrain and we each got a slice of pizza. You didn't get anything else, right?
Were they
The
sell?
soda.
Oh, we both got sodas.
They sell it by the slice.
What?
They sell it by the slice.
Yeah.
Oh.
We got 2 slices. That's another Price is Right. We got another Price is Right coming up.
Okay.
2 slices of cheese pizza and 2 large sodas. We got Pepsis. 2 large Pepsis. How much do you think that costs? Give chat a couple seconds here. Nicky Hill is formulating a guess.
I'm gonna be way off. $3.75.
$3.75. J-Bug says $7.25.
It's probably more expensive.
Radical Defect says
than I would
$5.
expect.
Tony De La Mancha says $9 basically. If she's someone else typing, I'll give him a second. Red Souza is typing. We'll see if they're guessing a number.
I think I'm way off. I think
They
it's
are not. Okay.
probably a better deal. I mean, the drinks
Are you
off.
changing your guess? Because
No, I'm
You
just
can.
no. I'm not looking to change it. I'm just saying that the full pizza is $10,
The full pizza is $9.95.
but that doesn't mean each slice is
That
1/10
is correct.
of that because
not how
they're
it
gonna.
works, yep.
It's gonna. Yeah.
So 2 slices of pizza and 2 drinks, large, $5 and change. So Radical Defect, you're the winner there. Fantastic value for the amount of pizza you get. Insane.
Oh, there's
great.
a pizza place by us here.
Slice is $4.
One slice was like over $3,
Yeah.
$3 to $4.
Great deal. Great deal. Also, the full pizza is an insane deal. It's an 18-inch pizza for $9.95. Like, that's an unbelievable deal. But anyway, we got that. We were lucky enough to get an inside table for anyone who's not been at
They
Costco.
have outside tables.
No, as in like an inside row table.
Oh.
They have the row that's like where everybody's walking out to get out, and then they have another row that's one against the wall. We got an against the wall one. So we parked our cart. We had our slices of
We
pizza.
made it was like a clubhouse because like there was the wall on one side and our cart on the other, and we were just like,
And you bought
little-
a blanket.
So we blocked off our spot.
well, our cart had like some like sweet stuff in it.
This is this is a new favorite memory.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Our cart had like, like candy or
They had like
treats
little
in it.
marshmallow things that they were selling that we
Oh,
bought.
the petite mellows.
Yeah, I didn't
yes.
love them.
I don't really.
I
Like
Yeah.
loved them. I loved them.
They're. It's not what I expected.
The
putting in my
marshmallow
mouth.
is-
It's a straight up marshmallow. It's not like a Malamar marshmallow. or
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
So we got those. What else did we get? There was another sweet thing that we tried.
You didn't get the lint blood orange.
We don't
thing,
get
did you?
lint
That's
anything. We don't like
gross,
lint.
Man. Was it Bisconis that I don't think
Oh,
We
that's
got
what we did.
them,
That's what
but
we did.
was it-
Yes, you're right. You're right.
What's a bisconi?
It was like a
scone and a
Kirkland. It was a
biscotti.
Kirkland signature thing. So it's their bakery that makes it. It's a little round cookie. Holy
Oh.
it's a
shit! Were
combination
they
of a scone and a
incredible.
biscotti, but it's
We ate them
Not
and like
either. It's neither
jaws
scone nor
jaws
biscotti.
dropped. We shouldn't have been surprised because it's Kirkland. They were
Yeah,
one of the best things I've ever had from Kirkland. They were phenomenal. But we had our little thing, like we ate our slices of pizza and we had our little sweet treats. And I was like, this is the greatest. And I was like, this pizza's so good because we hadn't had
was
it
so
in so
great.
long.
We just
It's
took
not-
our sweet treats out of the cart and we're just
Yep.
sitting there eating our little.
It's not pizzeria pizza, whatever. But it is great for what it is.
And then
We had such a good time.
also in the car, you have toilet paper. You go to the bathroom, you use your own toilet paper.
Mhm.
It was so
Kirkland
good
Signature toilet paper is what we buy.
and so much
So,
fun.
yeah.
I had such a good time. Also, I knew I was getting pizza, and I prepared this time in a way that I've never prepared.
Oh my god!
I eat
forgot.
pizza with a knife and fork because of my beard, and that pizza's like really big and lots of cheese. They have forks and knives there, but they're plastic. I cannot tell you how many times I've broken their forks in the pizza. How many times I've eaten a piece of my fork before. It happens all the time. This time I was like, not this time, baby. I'm living large. I brought silverware from home, put it in MomBrain's little purse thing. We got there. I took out my silverware and napkins. I was like, this is phenomenal. I could eat it just as I want. Oh my God, it was so good. So good. What a
Where
great
did you
time.
put the silverware?
Back
in your little purse thing?
In my
Oh.
purse.
I'm calling it that because that's what it is. I didn't say fanny pack on purpose.
Mhm.
That's not
Okay,
fair.
All right, just making sure.
Um,
And yes, that is where it went after it was finished.
but I cleaned it off with 2 napkins and I wrapped it in a third napkin.
Division's right. 10 Division's Someone said someone's out there making a TikTok of you.
It's funny because I thought to myself, I was looking to see if anybody was watching me pull like
fancy
silverware out of
classical
it.
music in the background.
I thought if I saw someone else doing that, I would record it. I
You
would block
buy-
their face, but I would record it. I'd be like, you got to see what this guy's doing. He brought silverware from home to eat his Costco pizza.
That's like
100%.
that's like the folks who go to Epcot and they bring like tablecloth
Yeah.
and stuff for the
Mhm.
garbage cans and you
Mhm. Also, you hear great stories while you're there. The table behind us sat down. MomBrain unfortunately wasn't there, but she sat down with her family and she goes, you know what I saw this guy do? And her family's like, what? She goes, this guy over here. And she points to the tire section. She goes, guy over there just bought $6,000 worth of tires. And they were like, what?
in this economy was that 3 tires?
I was
At
up.
Costco, it's a lot of tires. It's a lot of tires.
I was up waiting for the food at the counter, and there was a ton of people. And there was a family that we like encountered a few times, and they were like obnoxious. And she went up to the counter because like they call you by number and say like they were on number like 17. And she goes up and she's like hassling the one man who's working, who's got to like make the ice cream and run the.
She's 26. She's number 26 or something. She's like, can we hurry up,
Excuse
please?
me, I have 22. And he was like, oh, you ordered, or I have 4, and we were on number 17. And he was like, did you order a whole pizza? And she was like, yeah. And he goes, well, that's at the other window. So I'm watching, and she's got nothing else.
Oh, she only came to Costco for the
Well,
pizza?
somebody's got the card. The rest
Oh,
of the
right.
family's all whatever. She gets the pizza and she goes, will anyone help me? And like the
I
rest
will
of the
help you eat
family was like doing whatever. She goes, I suppose not. And then she just like walked away. And
At
I was like,
Costco, where the hell
lady,
would you act like
like,
that? You wouldn't, but to say that.
will anyone help me carry this pizza when I have nothing else to carry?
Someone please think of the children.
Yeah.
Radical Defect says, my spouse and I had a honeymoon in London. It absolutely poured rain while we were out, and we both huddled under this tiny yellow umbrella. Someone 10,000% took our photo, but never came over to us. We never saw
I
it.
bet it would have been a very cute picture.
It's like that girl on the beach that had me pose with her to take
Oh,
a picture
yeah.
because of the shirt I was wearing. That was such a great and awkward feeling because
it wasn't just
she's
your
like
shirt. It
in
was
a tiny bathing suit, and she's like, come take a picture with me. I wasn't worried about her, but I'm like, do I hover hand this? And
Yeah.
she like slammed up against me, and I was like, all right, I guess we're taking it. Like, I was fine with it. I was just like, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but clearly she wasn't uncomfortable. And I regret every time that I didn't ask her.
you should
like,
put it out on
for
like
her
number?
something.
you should put it out on the internet somewhere.
Because when on the walk back, I was like, I gotta ask, and they were gone.
Yeah.
Maybe if you do an image search for that shirt.
It'll be number
But
one.
you guys, it was like you were wearing like a top and a bottom that exactly matched her bathing suit top and bottom.
Yes.
Like, and she saw
Is
it,
that what it was?
and it must
Yeah.
have just been.
And I
like-
was wearing just like it was like a stupid like $5 shirt from Walmart. It was like a unicorn shirt that I was wearing to walk in. Like, I'm sweating my ass. That's the other thing. I hadn't lost all my weight yet, so I'm like on the beach and I'm sweating like a pig. And she's like, "Come take a picture." And I'm like, "Oh, lady, you don't want to touch me right now," but whatever. She made me. It felt nice. It felt really nice because I always had this thing in my head. I still do, where I'm like, oh, these people see this big fat guy out there sweating, and they're like, oh, he's so gross. And I know a lot of people think like that. But it's nice that someone was like, oh, I want to take a picture. That looks great. And they like smushed up against me and I'm a total stranger. I was like, hey, what a confidence booster.
Yeah.
And then I will never see that picture again, sadly. It is what it is. All right. That's that. Radical Defect says, back when I was in the press, I got a Smash Brothers for Wii U shirt from E3. I wore it while I was on vacation in Australia. And someone asked to take a photo with me. And I was like, do they think I work for Nintendo? Maybe. You never know.
Maybe.
You never know. Maybe.
Maybe.
That's all we got, everybody. That's all we got. We did it. We did the best we could. That's like the third time, I think.
Well, fired.
Shit. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you had a great time. We had a great time.
Keep an eye out at your local grocery store or convenience stores for some OREO Coca-Cola.
Yes. Also, as I said, we will be talking about Super Mario Party Jamboree when we are allowed to. I can't tell you when, but keep an eye out for a written feature And we will have podcast discussions. So
and
look forward to that.
also,
Goodbye, my friends.
maybe I won't be here, but you'll be talking about Dr. Squatch.
Oh, if it comes this week, I'll hold off for you.
Whatchamacallit?
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games. Hang out with friends and family. Rest, relax. You deserve it.
Hell.
We will see you next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. That's for due.